We'll try and make this professional so you can talk about it professionally, but you've heard the podcast.
I was like, I'm not mentioning this to anyone. No, I'm kidding.
Nice.
Kidding,
Excellent.
kidding. I did mention it to my co-founder, and he was like, sure. And I was like, yep, that's...
Yeah, okay, fair.
Shirley, this can't backfire, so let's
No.
talk about race.
Okay,
Yeah.
First of all, I'm very sorry you're on the race book. We fucked up. I don't know if you chose this book, but I don't think so.
I haven't read that far, or I hadn't read that far, so I just picked this kind of at random.
Jesus.
This is the first time you read this too, then.
I lost the Animorphs lottery. I think that's what happened here.
So
or one.
So people who have never, like, people DM me all the time asking, hey, can I be on an episode? How do you choose your guests? How do you choose a guest? And to anybody out there listening, if we end up using this, you actually made a sign-up sheet, and people in our Discord signed up. Mm-hmm. And you signed up for this one. So we did not pick you for the Civil War runaway slave book. This was an accident. We're good boys. We're conscientious boys. I'm trying to get it out of the way. We're nice boys.
But
But
please explain race to us.
they can't tell you their names. They can't tell you where they live, but in the mid to late 90s, these 5 teenagers can turn into animals to fight an invading army of evil brain slugs. 5 dumb teens are the only thing standing in the way of complete annihilation. This is Animorphing Time with Nate and Tyler.
Get your hand off my girlfriend, you yerk-brained bastard!
This is for Daddy. Make it like half the bottle.
Catherine Alice Applegate wouldn't want this. Doesn't want this. Blah, 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 blah.
And like they're like, no, stop shooting at children.
Oh man, being 12 was weird.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Animorphing Time with Nate and Tyler. That's Nate. I'm Tyler.
Before we continue, I need to clap.
Oh, we got to do the clap.
Yeah.
We'll make it part of the show so they know.
Okay.
This is how we make Animorphing Time sausage, Lauren, and everybody listening.
First, we find some Animorphing Time meat.
I mean, I think we got it. Like, I'm just saying.
Ooh, we got it.
Okay.
We're Arby's. We got the meat.
I gotta clap.
Okay, so Nate's gonna count to 3, and on 3, clap 3 times by your microphone. We did it.
Yeah, see, that's perfect.
That's it. That's how we sync the auto recording.
Yeah, because if you overthink it, if you're like, okay, yeah, it's like half beat. See, I don't even know.
Like, a lot of podcasts edit this part out, but you know what? We want to give you an inside look at how we build this podcast so precisely and perfectly that Nate does.
Right, we're not ashamed here. So Tyler, how were your stools today?
I have shit 5 times, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you really have. What did you do to your body?
So yesterday was my first day off after a long stretch of awful work days. And so I started drinking very early on in the day. We had a giant sake with dinner. Nate and I both ordered larges. And then I came home and I drank a bottle of wine and 2 beers. And then, 1 o'clock rolls around. I was working on St. Patrick's Day. I had to get myself a Shamrock Shake from McDonald's. And so I got a Shamrock Shake. I got some chicken Mac nuggets. I got a Mac chicken and I got a Mac double with bacon.
I would say you also got one other item, the secret item, which is the McDonald's mud butt.
I got McDonald's mud butt. So I shit so much this morning. I've evened out. It's all out now.
You've evened out?
It's all out. I got it all out.
You don't want to get it all out. You want some ballast. You need just like a little bit.
I got it all out. Look, like a beaver's castor gland, I was milked out.
Ooh. We should introduce the guest before. By the way,
Animorphing Time, Nate and Tyler. Joining us today, game developer, internet person that I met, co-founder of the largest VR MMO on the fucking planet. That's not hyperbole. That's
the biggest one.
It's the biggest one. It is called Zenith. So on Animorphing Time today, we are welcoming Lauren. Welcome.
Thank you. How you guys doing?
Well, you've heard about my day. How are you?
I'm great. I don't know if I have anything that matches shit 5 times. Like I don't think I did anything nearly that exciting today.
I hope you never have to.
Aren't you prepping for a GDC talk?
Okay, yeah, I am doing that.
I mean, like, yeah, they're probably even. I bet.
Yeah, so you have to give a big speech at a game developers convention this week, right?
Yep.
Where do you even come up with what you say on there? Like, how do you think of that?
What's the deal with? No,
Where do you get those ideas?
Luckily for me, I didn't have to come up with the idea for this talk. This talk is sponsored by Unity.
Okay.
And so the talk is already sort of put together. It's a panel about, I don't know. This is very boring. I might have to skip this, but
It's not boring.
all right.
These
you asked
hogs
for it.
will eat it up. You hear that, hogs? This is your slop. Eat it up.
All right, nerds. So basically, yeah, it's a talk about DOTS, which is Unity's data-oriented technology stack. So they have a couple developers that have used that tech in their games, and we're
And Nate's writing this down. He's a computer guy.
Dots.
He just drew a little penis.
those
Wow.
are not DOTS.
Actually, no, it's Lauren. True story. I moved over to Unreal recently, so
Oh, boo.
eat it, Unity.
No. In the spirit of Unity, let's continue. And solve the race problem.
You know, much like this book, it's in the spirit of Unity.
So before we get into the spirit of Unity and bringing brother versus brother, oh God, I can't do it. Before we get into that, Lauren, tell the people your history with Animorphs.
Sure. So I started reading Animorphs in elementary school, probably like, I don't know, 3rd grade or 4th grade or something. I think it's like the same story as everyone just about, where it's like the Scholastic Book Fair. And I was like, what's this book with the lizard? And I bought it. And that was the end of it.
Now we're all fucking trapped in this trauma cycle.
Yep.
Not me. I'm out.
You're free. Congrats.
How long did you read them? Did you read through the end or did you drop off?
I did not. I read through like 20 something. Like I remember Atlantis happened and I don't remember anything about it. I solidly remember Helmicron. So it's like somewhere in the 20s that I fell off.
Ooh, okay.
But
All right.
I think I'd say the first 10, like I have solid memories. Like I remembered exactly the plot. And then after 10, I was like, sure, these things might have happened. I don't know.
After that, everything just kind of drops off anyway.
After Atlantis, that's when that was the downhill part.
Yeah. Once Atlantis happened, it's honestly coasting off that win, that high.
Right. Where they tried to breed them.
God.
Yeah, that was the high point of Animorphs.
And today, so we're talking about Animorphs number 47, The Resistance. And on the cover of this book, it's probably one of the more iconic covers. It's Jake, green shirt, blank-faced, turning into a beaver. And just every face on this morph is as blank as the one before it, and it's truly remarkable.
I disagree, actually. I would say the second to last beaver is smiling.
Because he knows what he's about to do.
Well, what is he about to do?
So, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Accompanying us with the beaver book, I picked up for us from Deluxe Brewing Company here in Albany, Oregon. We got Wild Beaver American Lager.
Yeah,
Show that to Lauren if I can reach the damn camera.
not-
It's not very good.
Looks like a Rita's water ice cup.
It's
Water ice?
You'll love our refreshing water ice and creamy, award-winning old-fashioned custard.
Oh no, I forgot. You guys are from the rest of the country. Fine.
No, well,
Yeah, no, tell us about this socialist utopia in California.
Yeah.
about your water ice.
Okay. So water ice.
How's the alkaline water you drink?
It's not water. Ugh. Okay, water ice is like,
It's water ice, please, Tyler.
or I don't know, what do people call it? Italian ice, I guess is what people call it everywhere else.
Oh,
Like
okay.
a snow cone.
No, it's not a snow cone. Okay, water ice is like, okay, imagine if you had like a Slurpee from 7-Eleven, like that
Done.
consistency, but thicker and like heavier. Because like, you know how a Slurpee is like very like airy, like there's a lot of, it's very light. So imagine like a thicker version of that. So like between a Slurpee and a snow cone, like you eat it with a spoon, but like, so it's very popular. I'm from Philly, so we eat a lot of water ice in Philly. I consider
So
myself
you eat
lucky
it. You
I
don't
have a
drink
Philly
water
accent.
ice. It's not like they give you a straw just to tease you.
No, they don't even give you the straw. It's like,
You just eat it with your hands.
no,
I would.
that sounds
No, like
awful.
I'm into the idea of like squeezing it from the cup, like it's just get everywhere. But
speaking of getting everywhere,
yeah, let's get it everywhere with this book, The Resistance. What's the tagline on this thing?
What would you do if you lost your mind to a yerk? Lauren, Nate, what would y'all do?
I wouldn't have control. Like, that's the whole point, right? I would do nothing. I would just pick my nose if I had to or something.
Yeah, I would do like a Get Out sort of situation. Like I would just be like waiting for like my chance to do something, but realistically, no, I would probably give up after like 2 days.
Yeah. Honestly, I would just like sit back in my own mental chair and just like, all right, go nuts, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I'm powerless day to day anyway. Might as well be powerless in my body.
Well, yeah, and honestly, here's the real story about Get Out. The floating place seems a little bit comfortable. You just float there.
I think it was called the Sunken Place.
Well, that's just your negative mindset. What if it was called the floating place?
I don't know if I've ever heard the Sunken Place is the best part, like the best place to be. I don't.
It's like a sensory deprivation tank. You're just one with yourself.
Yeah. Nate saw us and was like, man, I'd love to live in the underground part.
So let's talk about this inside cover. It's like, what it is, the inside cover reminds me of like a, God, who's the painter of light guy?
I was going to say, it's the painter of light.
What's his name, though?
Thomas Kincaid.
Oh, Thomas Kincaid, the painter of light, of course.
Duh. What? Fucking idiot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is that an Oregon thing? Lauren, do you know about Thomas Kincaid, the painter of light?
I don't. I know. I can't say I've ever heard of him.
Thank God.
I think it's a religious thing. I think that if you have like religious grandparents, they would buy a Thomas Kincaid painter of light thing.
And you have to call him Thomas Kincaid painter of light.
Honestly, I kind of wish I got to that point in my career where somebody had to add a title after they said my name.
What would your title be, Nate?
I don't know. The loathsome dung eater.
What?
A loathsome dung eater.
I'd be Tyler McCarty, the 5-shitter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's powerful. But that kind of puts me in a weird position as the lonesome dung eater.
That's why I picked it.
Right,
You're going to eat my shit. Yeah. So the author wishes to thank Ellen Garou for her help in preparing this manuscript for Michael and Jake.
Ellen Garou, she's back for another...
She's back.
Another home run, right?
Our great ghostwriter. The one who Nate and I extolled the virtues of how great and succinct and deft and smart of a writer she was.
Well, here's the thing. She is still a talented writer. I think she understands story structure. And we'll get into the book. And let's just play that out.
Yeah, we'll just see where that goes. We'll kick that can down the street.
I was like very excited when I saw that. I like, as soon as I got it, I like flipped to the page and I was like, oh, who was the ghostwriter, if there was one? And I was like, oh, Ellen Garou, this is going to be great. This is going to be such an enjoyable read. I'm going to be so thankful that I read this book at the end.
We should, let me ask this question just for the listeners who don't know you, like we know you. Lauren, is there a reason you might not like the stuff in this book that, say, Nate and I might not like for different reasons? I'm trying to be
very deft.
Are you saying
Tyler,
that I don't sound black and people wouldn't be able to tell from listening to me? Is that what I'm here? Because that's
Tyler,
pretty
what
racist.
are you saying?
That's fucking rude. No, I'm kidding.
Tyler, what are you saying?
I feel bad all the time.
Oh
That's
my
right.
God, I was kidding.
That's right. You should feel bad now.
We didn't plan this. This just happened.
This is the greatest conspiracy theory.
We should say at the outset of this book, Tyler, there are 2 stories in this book.
Yes.
What are the 2 stories?
So one story in this book is Jake's ancestor who took in black ex-slaves from the hills during the Civil War to fight off the rebels.
We'll find out how that goes.
And the other story is about how Jake sort of helps the Hork-Bajir fight for their freedom. And there's a weird narrative parallel between the historically dumb aliens, tribal aliens, and these slaves. And honestly, it makes me feel icky. Like, I feel icky I'm getting the ick out.
Yeah, like, because we should talk about this just now.
We should
Otherwise,
get some of this out before we get into the details. This is
Okay, so here's where I was at with this book is I liked the Hork-Bajir story, right? I think it was good. Like, the Hork-Bajir Chronicles were great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a nice love story, and, like, you know, Andalites are bastards, and we learned that in that story.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, like, I liked the one where Toby summoned her dead.
Yeah.
Like, who it was
Aldrea.
Aldrea,
Yeah.
and like stuck her into Cassie, and like that was an adventure, right?
Mm-hmm.
This book kind of shifts what that story was in my mind, and now I kind of hate them.
It's
right, because you're right. Like, they're so glued together now, the Hork-Bajirs and the freed slaves from the Civil War, that like it's just like, oh yeah, of course, this is the canonical reading now, isn't it?
We
okay.
We have to get this out of the way. We have to, right?
Yeah, of course. So what do you want to get out of the way?
Do you want to say it first, or should I? No. No, like, there's awful language. There's not the hard R N-word, but the one that's historically been used for black people that were slaves. I don't. Yeah, laugh at me.
Sweat.
It's this. I don't.
Tyler, you just gotta say, what are you saying?
I'm angry at what they did with this book.
Yeah.
Combining Hork-Bajir with freed slaves wanting to fight in the Civil War is that 90s pablum feel-good unity. Oh, look at the white man doing the great thing for the ex-slaves. These slaves who are here to provide me development. I am, as a white person, I'm going to train them into better soldiers. Parallel to the story of the kid doing the same thing with aliens that are the stand-in for runaway slaves in an alien war. Because one thing that sci-fi does, and you mentioned this, Nate, is that sci-fi will often use an alien race to make a comment about Earth race, like different races of people.
Fantasy racism is always something that backfires because, you know, the whole point is that's a real thing. We don't need to invent elves in order to exhibit racism. You just show it. Right? Like, that's the thing that exists in the world. So, yeah, this book kind of does that.
Yeah.
Lauren, how's it going?
Great.
And
yeah.
We should also say it is a white person's natural tendency to look to their not natural tendency. That's the wrong thing. Socially, it has been a tendency for a lot of white people to look to their black friend as the monolith of, oh, explain racism to me, or, oh, what does the black person think? Which completely others the black person. And we shouldn't do that. I'm so viscerally uncomfortable. Does anyone know what I'm trying to say?
Honestly, it's great. I love just seeing you uncomfortable. It's funny.
Yeah, laugh it up. These are conversations we kind of have to have with this book and with each other. Nate and me. Not so much you, Lauren, because, well, we know why.
You guys, this is getting out of hand. This is too much.
This is too much.
That's why I was like, Tyler, I keep on poking you and laughing because you're so uncomfortable.
I am uncomfortable because...
Yeah, it's funny. Because, like, Tyler, you can have a conversation about race. I know you're not racist. It's fine.
Lauren, thank you.
Lauren does not, though. She might actually think you're racist.
And she would be right to think that. Not because I think that, but if she says I am, I probably am. Because it's an unknown bias. We don't know what we're doing until someone points it out. Look, I don't mind being this person on the podcast.
Tyler, do you want me to save you right now?
No.
I'm in tears. No. I'm just like...
No.
Tyler's trapped.
Yep. I put myself here.
That's right. You just put yourself in a corner.
This is the sunken place for white people, isn't it? This is like what happens in there for y'all.
No, well...
It's the elevated place. We've Tyler
call it that. Yeah, the floating place.
Tyler has elevated himself into a different plane of anxiety. Like he's transparent. You can't even see him.
So look, Nate and I are both fans of the podcast Street Fight Radio, and that's hosted by two other better white dudes. And they've always said the only thing you can call...
I'm better than Brett.
Shut the fuck up. The only thing you can call a white person that will completely shut them down is a racist. because white people once called that, they break down. And they're like, what? No, I'm not. I'll fucking kill you. When, yeah, chances are we are. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I'm trying to get it all out. I'm trying to be open. It's making me uncomfortable.
Just get it out.
The beer's good, though. I'll just keep drinking it.
Just keep drinking until it doesn't feel as racist.
I'm so sorry, everybody. Chapter 1.
No, see, it's great, Tyler, because I'm going to make you read all the parts.
No. No, please.
Okay, so to be serious for like 1 minute, I actually kind of am glad that I was the guest for this book, because I feel like I don't know what would happen if this was 3 non-Black people attempting to discuss this book. So
the conversation that Tyler would have would never end. It would just be 2 hours of that.
I'm trying my best, folks. Trying my best. I'm willing to look stupid and be uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I'm willing to like laugh at it.
And that's fine.
That's pretty funny.
That's fine.
But like, anyways, we should read the book, and then we'll talk about the parts of the book that make us feel weird.
Yeah. Joking, my anxiety aside, there is going to be a lot of talk about race and tropes in media and tropes in writing that are awful, because this book has them.
Okay.
We good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
So, okay, chapter 1 starts with Jake ignoring a nuke.
Yeah. So, careful readers and listeners from last episode will know that the last book ended on a cliffhanger of Axe flying with a nuke into town. That ended somehow. Doesn't matter.
Well, no, Helen Guru was right to ignore what that last book was, because that last book was awful.
Not good. So this book starts with Jake at home.
Right. Let's just pretend that last book didn't happen.
And a storm is coming.
A storm?
A storm is coming.
Is Q involved?
No.
Okay.
No. So Jake's mom is heading out to grab dinner. She wants Jake to clean the basement.
Okay.
Normal stuff.
Yeah. He's going to get $20 out of it.
He's going to get $20 out of it. But Jake's having a hard time. A hard-ass time. Mom pulled on her rain jacket. I piled some storage boxes at the top of the stairs. If you want a cozy place for you and your friends to hang out, I suggest you get to work. Cozy place. I almost laughed out loud. There wasn't going to be a cozy place anywhere if we didn't come up with a plan to stop the Yeerk invasion. I opened the door to the basement. A tall stack of cardboard boxes blocked my way. Fine. I was the leader of a group of resistance fighters. Earth's only hope for freedom, and I had to clean the basement, turn a lousy $20. Talk about irony. I gave the boxes a gentle nudge, not meaning for them to tumble to the bottom of the stairs, which they did. Jake! Mom frowned and paused at the door. I'm counting on you! Then she was gone. I began to close the windows in the living room and the kitchen. The sky was getting darker, heavy, and threatening. Yeah, there was going to be a storm. I'm not a poetic kind of guy, usually, but this afternoon I couldn't help but notice that today's weather situation was a good metaphor for my mood.
Were you
solid start?
Were you trying to be the Batman?
I was trying to be war-beaten Jake.
Oh, okay.
Did I sound like the Batman? That's a compliment to me.
I thought you were going for Batman.
That was very Batman of me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, had Batman vibes to it.
Woo! I'm back, baby.
And honestly, I was so excited for this first chapter because this is a good start.
It is a strong start.
And part of the reason why I liked it, because it really illustrated my mood at the time, which is that it reminded me of having to work when you feel the world is ending.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you still have to show up, but also there's disease and war and famine.
Yeah.
But also you have to go, do your laundry and pick up milk.
Yeah. 2,000 people a day are dying. Everything's shut down. But hey, you still have to pay rent. Yeah.
Somebody has to make that ETL table, Tyler. It's not going to be you.
No.
That's right.
Not going to be me.
That's right.
So we do. We get a voice here from Jake that we get only in really good books, and that Jake has a voice.
Right.
And
Jake's voice right now is moody.
Yeah, he's
very
moody.
Batman-esque.
He's tired. He's beat down. He's hating life. He's hating everything.
That's right. He doesn't care about $20. He's caring about the world right now.
Yeah, bottom line, Earth is losing its soul. People have to know. There's no doubt in my mind about that. They have to be made to see. But going public, taking that major step,
holy shit.
Sometimes it's too much.
Jake's getting black pilled right now.
Like
a storm is coming for Jake, it's QAnon.
Oh no.
We mean that
the Earth is losing its soul, Tyler.
Oh no.
Oh, no. The basement of where exactly?
That's right. Maybe of a certain pizza joint. Who's to say?
I mean, she was going out for pizza. No. So Jake's going through these boxes in the basement, sees some of Tom's stuff. He puts his mom stuff in the box labeled mom stuff, dad stuff in a box labeled dad stuff. He sees some of Tom's stuff and he labels it trash, throws it all away because Tom is trash. Tom's an evil trash monster.
He says that word for word.
Yeah, Tom's old schoolwork from before he became a controller. I threw the stack into another box and started to write his name on the lid. Stopped, crossed it out, printed trash. I didn't have a brother anymore.
I love this Jake. I love the crow Jake.
Yeah, this Jake rules. We finally said it. This Jake rules.
Yeah. It's a shame what happens to him.
Yeah, it's really a shame what this book becomes.
So while he's cleaning though, he uncovers a box that looks like it's sort of precious, like a chest almost. I'm picturing, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. My notes, it says old-fashioned chest, and then in all caps, please don't be some magic shit. That's literally what it says.
Why not though? Have we had magic yet? We've had talking whales.
I mean, the Elemist, the evil robot eye from space, or the dinosaur friend. Time travel. I don't know. Do you think time travel's magic or science?
Who's to say? Some people might say that advanced science, it might appear like magic to us.
I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, but he finds like an old-timey chest, a cool-looking chest.
Belonging to for Jake from Grandpa G.
Rip Grandpa G.
The name Fitzhenry in raised leather letters. Oh boy. People haven't read this book, don't know what's coming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you ever found somebody else's diary?
You're living in a house filled with my family's old diaries, yes.
What was above your bed up until 3 years ago?
A picture of my great-great-grandfather, and it was more than 3 years ago.
Right.
It was like a really early picture of my family.
A daguerreotype. It was on glass.
So, Lauren, I'll tell you this. The house I'm living in right now was built by my great-grandfather. He died in this house. My great-grandmother died in this house.
Mm-hmm.
My great-aunt died in this house.
Wow.
This is the family house where my family comes to die. And
it is your elephant graveyard.
Well, yes, our family's large. Thank you. But it was when we first moved in, because Nate and I moved in a time of a great emotional turmoil for me. And, Nate doesn't care where he lives. He just came. We were friends. We want to live together.
I ramble along.
We moved into my great-grandma's house. It's still got a bunch of old lady shit in it. But there was this picture of my ancestors that I used to have unprotected sex under. And wow.
You should have been protected.
I was. The spirits had me.
Well, okay, where's this going, though? I thought we were talking about
I'm just saying, we live in a house full of my family's old memories.
I would never read someone else's journal. It seems weird.
I would. Lauren, would you read someone else's journal?
If they were dead, yeah. I think if they were alive, it would give me more pause.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? They might catch you.
Great, another
pretty much. Yeah, this is really just self-preservation. I just don't want to get my ass kicked for reading somebody's journal. But
Lauren's a freaking furry over here. More pause.
Well, I learned two things now. One, I learned that you're afraid of getting beaten up by your family, and two, that you don't believe in ghosts. So we're learning all sorts of things.
But
I feel like it's how I came by it. If I was walking around someone's house and I found it, I would be way less likely to read it than if someone handed it to me. Here's a book for you. I'd be like, well, clearly.
And now that I think about it, yeah, Jake did just give him this book as a gift.
Yeah.
It's expected for him to read it.
Yeah, the chest, the book, all of it. Either way,
he finds this old book. The front leaf reads Lieutenant Isaiah Fitzhenry. Right. And then he kind of skims it open and he leaves it on the the book on the box and just runs upstairs. He doesn't care.
No, because someone's here. Well, the storm happens, breaks a window. He covers the window up and he says, "I wish all problems could be this easy to solve." Like, right. Jake he's dark now.
Right. Dark Jake is
good. And Dark Jake's number one enemy comes home.
Stop calling him Dark Jake.
Oh, God. I did it without even thinking of... Oh, God. Lauren, thank God you're here.
Tyler, what do you mean by dark?
I just feel
I meant evil. Oh, no.
In chapter 2, it's going to be cool. And then in chapter, 12, it's going to be a freaking mess. But yeah.
No. So, depressed, beaten down Jake.
Bat Jake.
There's a lesson here about being precise in your language, huh?
I would have said brooding. Brooding Jake.
Okay.
Or I would have said the crow. Crowified Jake.
Can't rain all the time, he says, as the storm happens.
I feel like I need to just see this movie at some point. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen The Crow?
You should watch The Crow. What are you talking about? No.
The Crow was like, that was one of the first movies I ever had a crush on a dude. Fucking Brandon Lee. God damn.
Yeah.
I skipped my grandmother's funeral to watch The Crow and have a weird feeling in my tummy. We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, because he's dead now.
He's dead now. He's protecting me. That's the spirit I meant that was protecting me.
The actual crow.
Yeah, the actual crow. Jake goes upstairs. Evil brother Tom there.
Evil brother Tom, no. And then we cut to and then we just go next chapter 3. Isaiah Fitzhenry, Sinkler's Ridge, Tennessee, December. Here, I'll do the old time.
Yeah, voice. Please do the old timey voice.
Sinkler's Ridge, Tennessee, December 23rd, 1864, early morning. We knew that General Forrest and his cavalry are coming out there. But will he come? Will he ever come? And if he does, shall we be ready? That kind of sounded erotic, actually.
No, it was good. It was very you had the Matthew Broderick glory down.
We watched Glory before this. Okay, no, since you brought it up, we watched a half hour of Glory book in preparation for this book. Lauren, have you seen the movie Glory?
No, I have not.
They showed it to us in school.
They made us watch the movie Glory.
Do you know what the movie Glory is about?
I do not.
It's about a rich dandy son of an abolitionist who leads a battalion of freed slaves in the Civil War. And it's what Denzel Washington got his first Oscar for. Like, he's great in the movie. But the movie itself is like, ooh, rewatching it now, it's like...
The theme of the movie is a white man set them free.
Yes.
And it has that vibe of it's not about the actual soldiers. It's about this brave abolitionist leader who comes to accept these troop of rabble rousers.
The sad thing is, as soon as you said that they made you watch it or they had you watch it or whatever, I was like, oh, then it must be a white savior version of the story, because that's the only reason it would have been shown.
It's Dances with Wolves, but with
the wolves are Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman.
And I'm not lying. There's a scene where Matthew Broderick goes to a fancy lad party.
Yeah.
And he gets summoned over by his superior in the military. He's like, come on, I'd like you to meet someone. Matthew Broderick meets
Frederick Douglass.
No.
Yeah.
It's good to see you again, Robert.
Governor Andrew.
Robert, have you met Frederick Douglass?
Mr. Douglass.
I understand you were at Antietam.
Yes.
A great and a terrible day. Well, I could use your help, Robert.
The governor is proposing to raise a regiment of Negro soldiers.
No. It was not just my idea. Mr. Douglas and
we will offer pride and dignity to those who have known only degradation.
Colored soldiers, Rob. Just think of it.
Wonderful.
Frederick Douglass is I am building this battalion for you.
Yeah.
And he gives a knowing nod.
Yeah, he gives him a knowing nod. This white boy's all right. It's honestly...
Lord, watch Glory.
Please don't. Please don't.
No, please do.
And then he gets sucked off by Sojourner Truth. It's the wildest shit. No, that's not... It's awful.
But the thing is, though, and I was thinking about this, Tyler.
Okay.
How many black kids did you have in your class?
We were in the same class. Why don't you answer that so I don't look so bad?
The answer is 0.
0.
We had no black kids in our class. So it was one of those things where like nobody's going to be uncomfortable watching Glory. Right? But like, like what, I don't know. I feel like that maybe would not have been shown.
Glory?
Yeah.
If there was a black kid?
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that.
It absolutely would have.
I mean, yeah, you can confirm that. All right.
So growing up, I was the only black kid in the class, so I can confirm.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
That for me, that type of thing. That movie wasn't shown, but yes, they don't. Okay. They don't care. That's not a thing.
Because I hate this like trope in media, especially regarding the Civil War, about how slaves and slavery and freed slaves were there to be development for the white characters.
Well, let's get into it. Let's see the development of Isaiah Fitzhenry.
Oh boy, yeah, because he grows and changes. He's a dynamic character.
That's right. Okay. So he goes into this camp, right? He's
in Sinkless Ridge, Tennessee.
Right, and he's like relieving like somebody from their post, I think.
Yeah, he like the other captain died, right? And now he's young and has assumed control of the detachment, the squadron.
Yeah, the idea here being that he's a sit-in for Jake, right?
Yeah, he's 20, he's young, not yet a man, but now a leader. Why did I make him British?
I don't know.
Not yet a man, but now I'm a leader of men.
that accent would never.
Now he's Australian?
Is that Civil War?
No, that's
crikey. The rebels got better boomerangs.
Maybe it's like the Emu War.
Nope. No.
Oh wow. No, I'm kidding. I'm not even gonna.
Lauren, you can get Tyler so many times. You just get to skewer him.
Yeah,
it's just like it's too easy. It's too easy.
Yeah, it is.
I've been called easy before. That's fine.
Okay, so the idea.
I like to fuck.
What?
Congrats.
What? We're proud of you, Tyler.
You should be.
So Isaiah Fitzhenry, he's a Jake sit-in because he's young, he doesn't want leadership, and he kind of got pushed into it, right? But he comes to like kind of like the idea of leadership a little bit here. Like he's like, oh, I command 100 men. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
right. And
he's walking around. His men are wounded. The fever's spreading. It's cold. It's Christmas Eve. His men are dying.
Right.
And he's just this boy leading them. And he's doubtful. It's overwhelming. The rebel army could show up anytime and just fucking fillet their asses.
Right. And it's almost guaranteed they will.
Yes.
Right. They know that this place is going to be a big target because it's like a train junction. They're looking for hardtack,
coffee, beaver pelts, which we'll get into.
Like, okay, can we talk about coffee? Like, why do they need coffee? Like, I know, like,
it tastes good.
I'm dead without my coffee, but like, you don't need coffee. Like, maybe like
because these brothers fighting brothers would be dead without their coffee. I don't know.
Like, I'm just like, ship food. This sounds like they need food.
I don't know.
Maybe medicine.
Coffee is medicine.
All right. Well, anyways, chapter 3. 3 dozen men, perhaps more, stood before me in an uneven line. Tall, short, wide, slight, mismatched shirts and their pants unified by a state of profound wear, as though each man had been born into the world with just one suit of clothes and was still wearing it. Such blistering soles on their feet I have never seen on my own ill-provisioned man. Mere suggestions of boots. Near them on the dirt rested raggedy knapsacks tied to their rickety sticks. Who's he describing?
He is describing the black people that have come from the hills to fight for their freedom. I don't know how to handle this in any classy way. The book sure didn't.
Okay. So, like, yeah, they show up and they're like, we're here to fight, sir.
Yeah, well, Nate, do it as they would do it. Say it like
no.
this. No. So,
no, Ty, here's how I would say it. We're prepared to fight, sir. Yeah, what were you thinking? What accent do you think I was going to do?
I was thinking of the one that they write later on in the book.
Okay, yeah, that's honestly, yes, that is probably what they would. It's one that, yeah.
It would be like Andre Brower in Glory, where he's like, "I'm educated. I was born a free man, and I can read." And Denzel Washington's like, "Boy, shoot." What? I didn't do anything. That was a line from the movie.
This whole episode is me pointing at you and judging. What else you got? Come on.
No.
Well, okay. What did they look like?
No. Well, they were the color of every dark hue. That's what they say in this book. Do you want me to pull the quote?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
No, in Glory, the captain from Brooklyn Nine-Nine plays the smart black guy. That's his role.
Yeah, right.
And they make fun of him for it.
Yeah, they do. So, okay. So
I regret this.
Isaiah Fitzhenry. Ty, your escape is just to move along with the plot. You stew in it.
No, I'm doing another Denzel impression. My favorite part of Glory is when the rebels are coming and Denzel, he's like holding Morgan Freeman. Matthew Broderick's like, get him. And he's like, King Kong ain't got shit on me. And then Matthew Broderick's like, hey man, you got any coffee? And Denzel Washington's like, shit, you'd like to get wet?
And
you never see Training Day? That movie rules.
And then they light Denzel Washington on fire, like the movie Man on Fire. Does he ever get lit on fire in that movie?
No, someone else gets lit on fire. The man on fire is a metaphor because he's angry that someone stole someone he cares about, a little girl. Dakota Fanning.
So Isaiah says, like, listen, we can't give you weapons for obviously.
Yeah.
So
what's the reason, Nate?
Right.
Well, the reason is they're afraid that they're gonna shoot him for revenge. Which, I mean, hey.
Yeah, they call this out pretty quick. They're like, we cannot arm these people because what if they cause a fuss and steal all our chickens? Yeah, that's a thing they say in this book.
Yeah, right.
The people come down. The black people come down and they say, we want to fight. We want to fight.
Right, but like, sorry, no. Here's a shovel. We need defenses. We'll put you to fatigue work.
Yeah.
And you know, who's the leader guy?
Jacob.
Right. So Jacob says,
Yakub. Come on.
I don't get it.
You don't get that?
I really don't.
Yakub he was the one who invented evil white people or something.
What?
Oh my God. I'm only half from it. Keep talking about the book. I'll look it up.
Your racism has ascended to a level that
no.
It's
out of control. He's out of control.
Continue with the book. I will look it up.
He's ascended, like we've said.
No. He's in the floating place.
No, please keep going.
Okay, he's like, we're free men, Lieutenant.
Okay. In the beliefs of the Nation of Islam, Yakub was a black scientist who lived 6,600 years ago and began the creation of the white races. He is said to have done this through a form of selective breeding, which is referred to as grafting, while he was living on the island of Patmos.
What the fuck are you talking about? What's the island of Patmos?
Look, I learned a lot on the internet, and Yakub created evil white people.
We are free men, Lieutenant. Everyone in this line would rather die than lose that freedom. But like they begrudgingly agree to take the defenses because that's kind of like we'll do a job to make Lincoln proud, they say.
I died when I read that.
Yeah.
That was the last time you made Lincoln proud.
I can't say that I have. I don't think I have.
Oh dang.
I don't vote for Republicans.
Oh my God.
Sorry. That's good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I like to think I make Lincoln proud. I'm Lincoln's wildest dreams. I should get a t-shirt with that.
Yeah. Can we get that t-shirt?
Can you describe Lincoln's wildest dreams?
My head's fixed. Black people are free and my head's all in one piece again.
That's wild, Lincoln. I can't believe you're dreaming that because it's so untrue.
No, there's an expression that I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams, but I think in this case Lincoln might be more important. I think you know, based on this book, I just want to make Lincoln proud. I hope this podcast makes Lincoln proud, to be honest.
I don't think I can ever show my face on the podcast or the internet ever again after this one.
Only your ass.
I'll show my ass right now.
Bring. Oh, it's a call. Bring.
Hello?
Oh, hi, Jake. So, Cassie's calling.
Yeah, Cassie calls.
Sorry, I must have hit the wrong speed dial, but while I have you, I've been meaning to tell you that Toby asked me to thank you for loaning her your history notes. I think she likes you. So, Jake got a secret message from Cassie saying, Toby is in trouble. Bad news with Toby.
That's we're talking, of course, about LeVar Burton and Roots. Toby.
Oh my God.
No, we're talking about Toby.
You brought this up before the podcast. I said don't do that.
No, we're talking. Look, they made this parallel. I hate them for it. They're talking
that's the thing. Like, we can't rule that out as a possibility now. Maybe they did think that.
No, oh my God.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
No.
See? Right?
That's why this book is so pernicious and awful, because it does little shit like this you cannot ignore.
Was it planned?
I don't know.
No, there's no way. There's
Maybe,
no
though.
way.
Like, who
leader of
Sure, they named Toby after Tobias, but why would they call Tobias Toby? The parallels are there, and I don't know. Maybe we're crazy. I don't think we are. It was a phenomenon.
Let's keep on going. We got to keep on going. All right.
Yeah, they're talking about Toby Hemi, the seer leader of the Hork-Bajir Free Colony.
That's right.
So Jake knows there's trouble. There's trouble.
Jake drinks an entire glass of orange juice, which is weird. So he flies out. He goes to the Valley of the Hork-Bajir, the secret Valley of the Hork-Bajir.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way, he thinks about what Axe did.
Yeah, he's like,
well, he says I was a little bit proud, but also mad that he knocked me out and stole a nuke,
right, and was gonna blow up my family and everyone we knew,
right. Little.
I was proud and mad. We just don't talk about it now.
Right. Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
And people defend that book.
It's not great.
That book sucks.
By the way, we forgot to mention that Jake was unable to identify a bayonet in the beginning of this book. He didn't know what that was, but he knew everything about
the Nimitz class cruiser. But he doesn't. Nepal, don't you dare do it. The dog is about to walk through our cords. I love you. I'll kill you.
Nepal, go for it. So Jake gets to the valley, and Toby has some news. Toby says this. How should I do Toby's voice? Next thing I think about it. No, Tyler, Tyler, it's not racist. It's only when you laugh when it makes it racist.
What could be racist about spreading joy and laughter?
I never actually thought about what Hork-Bajir sound like.
Well, they sound like right, like they always make that weird grunting noise.
Okay.
Right?
No, do their voice.
Okay. We raided a Yerk facility yesterday, Jake. A day's journey from here.
It sounds like brooding Jake.
We rescued 4 of our people, but one of our warriors was captured. Well, okay, here's another thing that I'm going to point out now. All Hork-Bajir, whether they be male or female, 1 horn or 3 horns or 2 horns, they all look alike and they all sound the same.
Oh
right?
My God.
No, it's said. It's true. It was said that way, right?
It's your turn to look crazy and racist.
I'm not racist. See, look how easy that was. All right, so chapter 6, they're all talking about okay, wait, so a Hork-Bajir has been captured. The Yerks they're gonna be coming here soon to raid the camp because they're looking for these free Hork-Bajir. So Marco has the right idea of hey, let's just move them a little bit along. Move camp. What, you built a couple of buildings maybe, and then you just do it again down the road. But Toby says no, right? Toby says no because she wants to fight for her valley.
Yeah, this is her home.
I kind of hate that. Right? Do you?
I don't hate it because if you have a home and you feel like you should fight for your home, fight for your home.
I mean, what? Yes, it is their choice, but at the same time, I've never been so attached to land that I couldn't move to another spot.
Well, I mean, yes, that's you, but a lot of people feel a lot of things about the land they live on.
I guess. I mean, Lauren, would you you've been living in a place for 20 years, let's say, and then all of a sudden, let's say 50 people want to take it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you just move? I would just move.
Yeah.
So you're saying?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. So you're saying the Palestinians should just move?
Oh no.
I wasn't asking you.
Oh my God. No, I mean, I feel like I would just move. I understand though, where Toby is coming from, because this is also not just oh, this is my house, right? This is the the place. Like, this is like the definition of freedom, right? Like, all of these Hork-Bajir have been, you know, taken by Yeerks and stuff. And like, this place represents more than just like her house. So like, I get it. I also get that it's needed for the book, right? Like, someone needs to say, no, we have to stay and fight. Make it match the dumb Civil War shit. So
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, make a stand. Every time somebody says like make a stand though, I'm just like, I don't know, dude, just move.
Yeah. I mean, we have said in the past we are noble cowards who will just run. That's who we are.
Yeah. But you want like, hey, the Elmists gave them this valley.
Right.
So maybe.
And I mean, the nature of that home, it's like the first free home that an entire species has had in decades. I could get why it's special. The motivation makes sense, even if I don't agree with it.
Yeah. But it takes you know what it does? It takes convincing for Jake to accept it.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have a vote, which is stupid. Right?
Yeah. Okay. You heard it here. Nate says voting stupid.
Yeah, kind of. depends on like local elections. Yeah, vote in local elections. But anyways, like, so Jake says like, all those who want to live, stand here with me. Oh, sorry, Marco says this. Correction, Marco says this. All of those who want to live, stand over here with me. Those who want to die at the hands of the Yeerks, stand over there with Toby. And they all just like silently move over to Toby. And it's like, okay, well, I guess we're doing this.
Right.
Chapter 7, Isaiah Fitzhenry.
Ooh, there's a little thing I want to touch on in this chapter too.
Okay, go on.
So, Isaiah Fitzhenry, we have learned that they've captured a rebel troop, right?
Got him.
There's a rebel troop who's wounded in a battle, and they have him captured in the medical tent.
Mm-hmm.
And so Isaiah goes to the medical tent to question this rebel troop. And this is directly from the text. He kicked the air and lunged as if to strike me, but the pain in his upper arm would not allow it. He fell back in a heap, cursing, sweating, and I forgot my anger long enough to empathize. This low-ranking rebel was fighting for a cause he thought was right, for his home, his people. He was badly mistaken. But that didn't change his valiant spirit. Were our roles reversed, I hope I would rally in kind. So far, that may seem like nothing, and it probably is nothing, but this is the character empathizing and humanizing a rebel slave owner more than the group of free slaves who want to fight for their home. And it's little touches like this that I think are just blueprints for the reader to sympathize with the Southern slave owners more so than the slaves in this book, or the ex-slaves in this book. And I think that is pernicious and malicious, and I think it needed calling out.
Okay. I think that the thing that happens after is way, way worse.
Go on.
Okay. So after he squeezes this rebel soldier for information, and the bumbling fool, he tells him that there's a big troop of Forrester's men ready to sack the camp. So he got him, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's like, okay, cool. Got that information. I'm going to go say hi to my friend.
Yeah, Mac Carson.
And Mac Carson is resting up in this tent, and it goes like this. 30 men came down from the hills this morning. They want to fight.
Thank God, Mac said firmly. His family was progressive on all counts. Abolitionism among them. You need the men, and they have a right to fight. It's their war too now.
Be rational, Mac. You sound like the little man who leads them.
Jacob?
Okay, now skip down to, has he been whipped?
Yeah. Has he been whipped?
I imagine so, though probably not often. I've sometimes thought that living under the threat of whipping and punishment would be just as bad as itself, perhaps worse.
Ugh.
So, like, that part is worse to me.
No, like, these two things happen back to back.
Because it's pain role-playing.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, that's so atrocious. That is so atrocious. Right? Like, that feeling of just like, oh, those poor souls. And, it's a distancing of, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of people hurt in this tent. Right?
Yeah, they go out of their way to talk about, body parts being cut off.
Right, people screaming, people blinded, and it's just like, hey, why do you care so much about these slaves being whipped? Oh, it's because you're not them. Right?
Yeah, and honestly, sometimes just thinking of whipping may be worse than the whipping.
Right. Well, it's just like, well, no, that and there's that, but also it's like this distancing of like, you are watching a show and that is awful. You don't talk about the thing that actually hurts, which is like these people screaming around you,
right?
And, like somebody calling out for their mother, like, you know. But instead, it's like it's this viewing of and just like, you know, kibitzing about it that seems, dehumanizing, right? They're watching the show.
Yeah, and this is like another piece of this is something that white writers do a lot in the fetishization, I can't say it, of slavery and whipping and all of this. And I don't like it. It made me viscerally uncomfortable.
It's war porn.
Yeah. It's slavery porn.
It is slavery porn.
It's Civil War slavery porn.
Well, I mean, be careful. They probably exist.
Hold on. Siri, Rule 34, Civil War porn. No, I'm not doing that.
You already know. But it wasn't like gawking because they're not there to see the actual event, but it had this vibe of like...
It was salacious.
Yeah,
in a weird way.
What? No, it's just
that's for you maybe.
No, but like it had that vibe of just like, ooh, forbidden. Like, you know, that like it's they were talking about it and not even thinking about it. You know,
this like sick curiosity. They're like, ooh, has he been whipped? I wonder. Like, you know, like just kind of looking over to be like, oh, I wonder. I don't know.
It's that whole thing of
voyeuristic.
There we go. That's the word.
And there was that, I don't know how you feel about it, Lauren, but I've heard critiques of the phrase black bodies and how that reduces people down to their body rather than the humanity of them. And that felt very kind of black body to me. This whole, have they been whipped? Like being whipped is a rite of passage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like any of it.
Yeah. This I think was the first part of the book where I was like, I don't like that. Because, like, there's a lot of stuff that I've seen where, like, okay, that's not true. I didn't like most of the book leading up to this either. But, like, this was the first time that I was like, that's really bad, as opposed to kind of just eye rolling, like, oh,
right.
Okay, here we go. You know?
Right.
It's like Cassie will say something like, okay, Cassie.
Everything's like, okay, sure. I mean, you know, this is par for the course, right? Like, it's not shocking. And this was the first time I was like, ooh, I don't like that at all. Like,
yeah, this is a new kind of horror that Animorphs is. I mean, let's be honest. Animorphs has a race problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, in these books, Marco.
It's no JK race problem. But it is a race problem.
Oh man, don't get me started.
No, we should talk about that.
Marco's name is not Tacos Rodriguez, you know, like it's not bad. It's not like outwardly racist. It's
like Animorphs commits the sin of inclusivity without authenticity, I would say, in that sure, Marco is there and at one point mentions how he speaks a little Spanish, but any culture, ethnicity, race does not come into play. And the only time Cassie's race really comes into play is when someone calls her the N-word and she has to fight it. Because for the most part, I mean, this was written by two white people, a menagerie of white people, ghostwriters probably wrote these books. And they didn't try. Well, they do try to claim some of that other culture or race, but
it's not malicious. So it's like what?
Yeah, it's not the hook-nosed goblins who are going to steal your children and run the banks like Harry Potter.
It's not malicious,
oh my God.
But it is racist.
Yes,
you know, so it's like
it's racist, but it means well, which is still bad.
Yeah, it's racist, but it makes you okay. What it is just like here to make white people feel better about slavery.
Yes.
Okay, I feel nicer now. Look out, like this nice person. He's like, no, they're just people, and that makes me feel good.
I
Let's
didn't
move
look
on.
it up beforehand. Is Ellen Giroux white? I don't want to just like accuse her of being white, and we don't actually know if that's true.
Hold on. I'll do a quick. I close the Yakub page.
Okay, I need to look up Yakub later.
It's really interesting stuff. I did a lot of reading.
Is it like Time Cube? Is it like a Time Cube?
I mean, there's no pictures. I see a picture of a baby. I see Catherine Alice Applegate, but it's just covers of Animorphs.
Well, okay.
No, we can't find it. She's white until proven otherwise.
Okay. How about
she's
this?
She's not beating the allegations yet. But
how about this? Like, does it matter if she's white?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Hey, he's like, listen, there are two answers to that. Either yes or no. And I think, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. So the chapter ends like this. Tyler, why don't you take this? The end of the chapter.
Nope. Nope.
Like, are we say, like, we can't say it, right?
All right, I'll save you. I'll give you a freebie.
No.
Okay, say this, please.
How about I read every word, you read the one word. And then we keep going. No.
All right, here we go.
Are we going to have that conversation? Probably.
Okay, go for it.
Is this podcast about Animorphs anymore?
No, not anymore.
Well, how can it be with this book? How can it be?
I'm fine moving along.
Yep.
Rains doesn't think we'll be able to hold off the enemy, I said. Mac coughed and nodded. I can't say this next part.
Let the Negroes fight, he said. I rose to my feet in frustration. Isaiah, Mac said, catching my arm. They're our only hope. And in my notes, I wrote in my notes that exact line, and I wrote afterwards, the way I'm about to tear this book up. That's what it says.
By all means, please tear this book up, because so far this is an unforgivable book and chapter.
The very next note, by the way, I have after that is, OMG, are we the Hork-Bajir? So.
Yes,
right?
Actually. Yeah, that's yes.
I was like, I hope not, but no, here we are.
Yeah, congratulations.
Like, if this book had none of the Civil War stuff, it would be a great book.
Yeah, well,
or it would be an Animorphs book.
Let's keep on moving. Let's keep the pace going here. So chapter 8, we're a Jake chapter, right? And he says, they're risking everything for their freedom. We have to respect that, Rachel said. And like, it's a freedom heavy book.
Yeah.
Right. So
free or die.
And right. So the Animorphs are kind of like judging whether or not they're going to jump in. And eventually they decide they're going to, right?
Yeah.
And Jake jumps in with this. He's like, yeah, well, I hope you people understand what you're getting into. This ain't going to be pretty. They are. I forgot I did that joke for Toby. They understand more than you have given them credit for, Jake. They've been called upon to defend themselves before. They've been through a lot. I nodded sheepishly and looked at the dirt. Sorry, I nodded sheepishly and looked back at the dirt map. And so, they're kind of drawing up battle plans. They're getting ready for the big fight. The Yerks, they're coming, so we need to get ready to fight them off. So somewhere along the way, I don't know how this came up. They started talking about racism too. Right. So I think it's Marco. Yeah. So Marco says this. I'm sorry. We don't think of you as freaks. Right. But to the average guy on the street, Toby, humans can't even deal with the humans who root for a rival football team. Yes. Toby said slowly. I have learned that humans don't care for groups unlike their own. Well, that's not always true.
Newsflash, your average suburbanite ain't gonna tolerate a 7-foot-tall bladed alien for a neighbor. I mean, carpooling? Toby is a soccer mom? Think about it. Toby's eyes dropped. I'm sorry, we don't think of you as freaks, but the average guy on the street, Toby, humans can't even deal with other humans. Like, that was before what you read.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
that's some NIMBY-ass shit. Like,
yeah, agreed. Right, and so... Yeah. So, and like, honestly, that's why this 100% is, Hork-Bajir, black people allegory.
Right.
And well, here's the really shitty part about this. Now that I'm talking this out, is that this book is not for black people.
No.
Right?
Nope.
Like, Lauren, you are not the target audience of this book.
No, very much not.
Right. But also, like, that must suck. Like, black children also are not the target audience of this book. This book is written for white people to learn about racism. Right.
To be honest, like, I don't want to say it didn't bother me, but it wasn't a surprise to me.
Okay. Well,
that's
kind worse.
Of how the majority.
I hate it.
That's how the majority of like literature already is. Like for especially kids books and stuff. Like most of it is that.
Yeah, but Animorphs had not been that, right?
It hadn't. You're right, but this.
But it is now.
Well, this is.
Yeah.
We'll just burn all copies of this book. So okay.
Can you imagine, like, probably the conservative Animorphs fan, this is his favorite book?
You should ask him. So after that fun little conversation they have about NIMBYism, We move on to chapter 9 with Isaiah Fitzhenry.
The party.
It's Christmas. It's a Christmas party. Oh, happy days. Several townsmen were there. Joe Miller was there. Susan Miller was there. They've made so many good foods. Figgy pudding, ham. They've brought their favorite dish, racism.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that some more.
Yeah, this whole party is basically the townspeople like saying stuff like, hey, why are you letting those black people in our town? And hey, you know you can't give them guns, right? Like this is all shit from this chapter. It's like we cannot arm them. They'll steal our chickens.
Well, we have to read that. Like so okay.
Do we?
Yes.
We could skip that and just do the song. There's a random song and I was like, has there ever been a song in an Animorphs book before?
I hear the bugle sound the calls for revel and drill, for water stable and tattooed, for taps and all was still. I hear it sound the sick call grim, and see the men in line with faces wry as they drink down their whiskey and quinine. They're doing Quaaludes.
Ty, did you know that one?
Did you just air horn me?
Yes.
Did you know that one already? Was
no,
that
I just did. No, I just did that.
You weren't even looking at your book. It's I was impressed.
God damn.
How did you know that?
He sings it every night before bed. That's
yeah. I rebel yell every time I come. Whoop whoop. Yahoo!
No, that's the Juggalos. It's different.
That's the same.
So okay. So the main racist is Joe Miller. He's the leader racist.
Ooh,
and
yes.
Well, yeah, he's just like, oh, you joking? We're not gonna give them guns. And then he says this, right? He says the line. It's your favorite line. He wouldn't go within 50 feet of those people. I don't need to meet a wolf to know that he'll cause all kinds of mischief. They'll take our chickens, our pigs, the house.
The rebels will do far worse if they take the town. The have offered to help. They've offered their lives.
If you treat them like equals, Lieutenant, they'll begin to believe it.
The color in Miller's face was rising.
For God's sake, if you let them fight, they'll begin to believe that they deserve other liberties. Where would it go from there? Would you have them living here in Sinkler's Ridge? In a house? On the main street?
Chuckles rippled through the group of townspeople, most of whom had stopped their chatter now to listen in.
He was just like cracking into some Brazil nuts and just like doing everything that's racist.
Why are Brazil nuts racist?
Well, I mean, they were called.
Called what?
I'm not going to say it. It doesn't work on me, though, because I'm cool as a cucumber.
I don't.
Yeah, so like, but I mean, that. Yes, I get it. It should be obvious that the point they're trying to make is that this man is very racist and he doesn't want them living in their backyard. And again, back to the parallels of the previous chapter. Hey, we don't want the Hork-Bajurs living on Main Street.
That's why we had to talk about it, because these two chapters are back to back.
Wait, is Marco the racist?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Marco is Joe Miller.
Yeah.
Marco, no.
Oh, no. That paragraph, like, it's funny, right? Like, I was reading it and I was like, I'm prepared to be upset at this point. Like, I think I blacked out halfway through the book and I was just like, it's too racist. I couldn't. I passed out and I woke up on page 150 or whatever. But like,
that sounds nice if it's not just like waking up on the next chapter.
It's a book about a cardboard box. I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah, there's a beaver in there.
No, but like this paragraph. Like this, if you treat them as equals, they'll begin to believe it. Like every piece of media that involves racism has the guy that says that exact thing, right? There's always the character that's like, ha ha ha, I'm so racist. And they literally lift. It's like the same thing every time. And for whatever reason, I still had like a little knee-jerk reaction reading it. Like even knowing that was coming at some point in the book, I was still like.
Do you think like they get a little bit of glee writing that? Like the writer was just like, yeah, haha, this person's evil, right?
Yeah, actually.
I mean, you mind if you wrote it?
I mean, I don't. Well, I wouldn't write it. That's the thing,
right?
But like, it's fun to write evil characters, though.
But is it?
But like this in particular seems like it's always like you always have to question is like, have they given themselves permission to be racist right now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
That's a great question and a good point.
Who knows?
Because
I'm not the writer. I mean,
why do most of Tarantino's movies have the N-word play a large part in it?
He wants to say it.
Why did he give himself a character role where he got to say it multiple times?
He likes saying it.
Right.
So, I mean, but okay. And well, here's my other problem with this character, too, is that, like, racism is never this cartoony. Like, and then, like, you know, that's the one thing that, like,
well, Lauren's got something to say. I can see it in their eyes.
Okay, good point. Yes.
Sometimes, I mean, it wasn't really a whole. It was. I don't have like a good story. It's just like sometimes it actually is. Like, I think growing up, my brother got uninvited from a birthday party. And the kid, like, I think was supposed to give the fake reason, but he, like, forgot and just gave the real reason. And, like, just straight up did. My dad said you can't come because you're black. And he was like, oh, okay.
Oh, fuck.
It was bad.
But then again, glad he didn't go to that party. That would have been weird.
Yeah. Oh,
but
fuck.
no, generally speaking, yeah. I mean, this is very, like, very on the nose.
I keep on thinking about the racist barbecue that we went to on the 4th of July.
Oh, fuck.
Why did you go to a racist barbecue?
We didn't mean to.
Right, we didn't know. It was, like, that was the party, but since we weren't black, we got invited. So you get to hear, like, the argument, right, of, like, convincing, like, oh, no, I'm going to try to convince you that racism is cool, right? Because I'm sure, like, not a lot of black people get that argument. I mean, I imagine not. I don't know. But it's usually like, no, doesn't you understand? Like, they like being like that, and, like, you know, like that kind of conversation, right? And, like, I feel like that's more like mainstream racism. It's just like, oh, well, you know, it's funny how people don't talk about black on black crime. Like, you know, it's under this guise of I'm still a good person, but, you know, have you considered these controversial opinions, right? And when you see, like, you know, Joe Miller and he hates black people, it's like, yes, okay, that's a good lesson too. We should learn that those people suck. But, like, the thing that never shows up in, like, children's literature is like, hey, racism has many forms.
Yeah, some of them are, like, very subtle.
No, not even subtle, but, like, just, like, you know, what if it's someone you like and all of a sudden you find out they're racist?
Right. Yeah.
You know, and, like, I don't know. Can we stop talking about racism?
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, does it?
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't. Yeah. Keep going, Nate. I'm sorry, everybody.
I'm just excited for the beavers.
Episode. We got to just cancel the whole thing. Cancel Animorphs.
We're going to
show Animorphing time. We've been canceled.
I've been trying to get us canceled for a while now.
All right. So we learned that Joe Miller, he's bad. He's racist. Chapter 10, Jake.
Okay, wait, sorry. I just have one thing that's actually I kind of do want to point out.
Please do it.
Rereading it, I kind of just noticed this. So this whole argument, the Joe Miller and the whole, you know, whatever is taking place, right? They're fighting back and forth. And then Sally, Joe's wife, Sally turned abruptly and walked from the room. She understood her husband's meaning, but obviously did not approve. So that just like just now while we were talking about it stuck out to me. And I was like, oh, wow, that is deeper than I gave it credit for the first time around. And I mean, I'm not going to go into the whole, you know, 52% of white women, but also, you know, 52% of white, right? So, like, right. I was just like, huh.
Wait, yeah. Like, well, okay, so what's your read on that then? I have multiple theories.
Me?
No, I'm like, okay, yeah, I said call people more.
Yeah,
why did you think it was interesting? Like,
say our guest's name, Nate.
I'm sorry. I was staring at you. I realized I wasn't staring at the camera, and you don't see that looking at the TV.
No, I mean, the thing that was interesting about that was, like, I feel like that happens a lot where, first of all, there's the easy one, right? There's the slam dunk one of, like, white women being complicit in racism, etc., right? Mm-hmm. But I think there's, like, kind of a deeper thing of, like, women in general who disagree with something that their husband or brother or father says or does, but also are kind of powerless to do anything about it and kind of feel, you know, that they're not empowered to disagree or anything like that. So
yeah, because we'll kill them.
Basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
Sally might not be racist, but Sally was also like, I'm not going to get killed over this conversation. So she just left, right? So that was something I noticed this time around as we were talking about it that didn't stick out to me last time, was kind of Sally removing herself from this.
Did not click for me at all. Mm-hmm. I would just assume it was another, like, dumb white woman who settled for someone who sucks because that's what they do.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I have racist people in my family, and when that topic comes up, I leave, right?
You're the Sally.
Well, I mean, like, either like, I leave or I have the conversation, right? And like, having had that conversation and realizing it doesn't work, oftentimes I just leave, know?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, okay, like removing yourself from a situation is the best you can do sometimes because it sends across the message of just like, I do not approve of this conversation. I'm out. Right. But,
yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
Well, Sally's all right.
Yeah. Sally, you get an Animorph time B minus.
Well, and also let's also point out that Isaiah has the hots for Sally. Isaiah wants Sally real bad.
Yeah, there was that chapter earlier where he went into details describing her.
Yeah, her golden hair, the way she smells.
He dreams about her that night too.
Yeah, we're all gonna dream about her. Someone like a woman disapproving of me. Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna dream about. Whoomp. A small tree toppled, rustled the brush along the stream. Who would be chopping trees down here? Why, I will be dreaming about the beaver.
The Mel Gibson movie, The Beaver?
No, the beaver.
Oh, someone's pussy?
No, the beaver.
Leave It to Beaver, the little kid?
Beavers damming the stream.
Oh, good.
That joke sucked. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was no good.
So, yeah, Jake is... one of the criticisms we've given Jake a lot in this podcast is that it's hard to portray what leadership is narratively, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this chapter, I think, is the first time that it portrays it, I think, in an interesting or even smart way, in that Jake flies around the territory looking at the area, analyzing what their strategy could be, what they need to do, and what the surrounding area is like.
He comes up with a good plan.
Yeah.
Like the first plan he's come up in a long time. Like he's never had to I would say it's been at least 20 books since he had to think about a strategy and then carry through on that strategy.
Right. And so he sees a group of campers.
Mm-hmm.
He quickly puts together sorry, COVID.
COVID.
They got rid of the mask mandate and back to normal. So he sees the campers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, by the look of things, they've obviously been here longer than 3 days. So unless they have portable Kandrona, this whole group of campers, these are normal people. Oh, wow. They should probably get the fuck out of here if the Yerks are going to come blow this place up. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, can't think about that right now.
Gotta think of those beavers.
I gotta think of that. Wet beaver.
Dry, actually. They have oily skin.
We'll get to it.
Hydrophobic.
Oh, my goodness.
Shut the fuck up. I'm doing beaver facts, and that's later. He flies around, he hears the whoomp, he sees the beavers building a dam, and then he realizes, oh fuck, we could just flood the valley.
We can Lord of the Rings
We can
their ass.
flush the turds out of this valley.
That's right, release the river.
Take the dam! Release the river!
You really wanted to get that Lord of the Rings in there, didn't you?
I did, that's a good part. So that's their plan, right? Is Jake flies back. He's like, listen, everyone, I got this great plan. How do you feel about beavers? Marco giggles. Tobias giggles. Axe has no face.
He just looks down because he's still so shamed.
Yeah, that's right. And so they all kind of laugh at the idea. It's like, come on, the little beaver guys. What are they gonna do? Right? It's like, no, listen, we'll flood them.
What if a rat bit down a tree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What if a rat did that?
What if a rat could bite trees down and make river big?
Right, and everyone's like, okay, this might work. Axe, do you think it'll work? He
does some calculations. He's like,
he looks up and he sees the Sherlock Holmes calculus cloud.
I was picturing Garrus from Mass Effect doing calibrations.
He was doing calibrations.
Calibrations.
It's calibrations. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, that could work totally. Let's catch us some beavers. And you know who's the best at catching beavers?
Who?
Cassie's good at catching beavers. Listen, this is not no. Cassie's she's good. She's not gonna. She would never catch a beaver.
She catches a beaver, right in their lodge.
Sorry, I just can't take the phrase seriously anymore.
What, catching a beaver? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
She's very good at it.
I'm picturing Chris Hansen, to catch a beaver.
Why don't you take a seat right over there?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. Good.
Why don't you have a seat right on that stool, please?
Sure.
You want Chris?
You ate some of this tree. Take a seat.
Might I also add, Chris Hansen, probably a pedophile? I bet you he is. He knows a lot about them.
Really?
He's like, to find the predator, I have to become the predator.
Oh no, he's a method actor.
He knows so many of them.
Guys, I got a plan for a show. It involves me and my friends, but my friends don't know they're coming over to get arrested, and I get the children when we're done.
Okay, so what is a little like hut of in the middle of a lake? What's that called?
It's their lodge. It's the Beaver Lodge.
Beaver Lodge. Okay, so what does Cassie do?
Cassie reaches down into the Beaver Lodge.
Okay.
She catches a beaver.
She's still gonna catch that beaver.
Cassie catches a beaver. Pulls the beaver out. Beaver bites her real bad.
Oh no, beaver bites?
So the beaver bites back.
Oh no. Okay, the beaver bites back.
The beaver bites back. BBB.
She says, "I'm okay,"
she said quickly. Then she lifted the beaver to the surface. His body was still, from the acquiring trance, buoyed weight.
She hypnotized that beaver.
Yeah, she acquired the beaver that she grabbed. She stuck her hand in the beaver and acquired
Good thing, because this guy had to weigh at least 40 pounds. Big and sturdy.
The body of an industrious worker, one by one, including Tobias. We reached out to touch the slick, bristly coat. The beaver splashed away as soon as we were done. Oh, thank you, beaver. The noble beaver, the noble thick beaver.
You know, Cassie said, forcing a smile, blood dripping from the cut on her hand. When your mother tells you not to stick your hand in a beaver lodge, you really should listen.
Yeah, Cassie, next time don't do that.
Cassie, don't listen to your mother. You do what you want to do, okay?
Yeah, you want to catch a beaver. You want to stick your hand in a beaver lodge.
A 40-pound beaver. Just get that beaver.
Industrious little guy.
Industrious.
Big and sturdy.
Best pickup line, might add.
Damn, bitch, you're industrious. Big and sturdy. What are you, 40 pounds?
I was just going to say, how you doing, girl? I bet that beaver weighed at least 40 pounds. Big and sturdy.
Industrious.
Industrious.
Slick, bristly coat. December 24, 1864. Joe Miller's rooster crowed at 5:30, leaving no question that it had survived the night, despite his prediction of raid and plunder by the... I can't say it.
I actually really like how spicy that line is, though.
I mean, do you want me to read it?
No. I just mean, I like that he's being spicy about the rooster. He's like, they were complaining about the chickens. He's like, yeah, okay, anyway, your loud-ass fucking chicken is fine, so good morning. Merry Christmas. Yeah,
that is a subtle change in character for Isaiah, as much as I'll give it shit. Isaiah does grow to appreciate black people.
You know who doesn't, though, is Spears. Spears does not like black people.
Mm-mm.
Which is so funny, because when I read that name, I thought of Aries Spears. Mad TV?
I thought of Britney Spears.
I thought of Lieutenant Spears from Band of Brothers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's better.
No, it's not.
You want me to do this like Damian Lewis?
Yes, please do.
I don't know how. No, he's...
Well, then why'd you ask?
Spears is supposed to be Scottish, right? Don't lag, man. Wait, that's Irish. Don't lag, man. Don't lag. Okay, what, we can't do anti-Scottish shit?
No.
Ah.
That's too much. You've gone too far.
I mean, I could do the Liam Neeson speech.
Oh, yeah. Liam Neeson speech. Yeah, you could do that, actually.
I'm not doing it.
Okay. So do something.
I'll read him as Liam Neeson.
Okay.
Spears' rifle was propped against his shoulder. That was as it should have been. For I'd ordered all men to carry arms on every detail. But from my vantage point, Spears seemed to have his hand rather too close to the trigger. "They're easy, man, Lieutenant," Spears said, far too loudly as he saw me approaching. "If our men was out there working, we'd have finished by now."
I don't even know.
I'm Irish. Oh, Irish. The problem, as I see it, Spears, is that the earth is frozen hard as granite. "No, sir," Spears said, chuckling, his Scottish accent lengthening the vowels in the most definite way. The earth is soft as butter. Ain't it, boys? Soft as creamy butter. So Spears is the racist drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Yelling at them, calling them lazy, telling them to work harder, even though they're working very hard doing fatigue work. Ugh.
Yeah. So, okay. So, like, then
this character's even in Glory.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, having watched good chunk of Glory, this book seems very inspired by Glory. And so, like, okay, now we have this racist drill sergeant. He's getting them. But he's a bumbling fool, don't you see? Not because of the racism, but also because he's bad at strategy, because he's building this trench far too ahead of where it should be.
Yeah, Spears is having them dig trenches in the wrong spot because he's a bumbling Scottish idiot, as they all are.
That's right. Haggis brain, dude. Some might guess.
Yeah, have some soda bread, idiot. Doesn't matter. This is...
So, okay, so, and then, like, Jacob, so Isaiah says, like, hey, this seems off, and Jacob's like, yeah, no, it should be back a little bit further. Yeah, this is a bad spot to be digging this trench.
That's when someone they send Spears off because he's a racist fool, and they're like, okay, Jacob, I know you're in charge of all of these black men. What do we need to do? And he's like, well, we'll just build the trenches here. It'll be fine. And that's when Spears comes running back and he's like, hoi, toi, toi! The rebels are coming! They're coming down the mountain!
Chapter 13, Jake. Fluid mechanics is one of my specialties as an artist, Max said.
I love that.
Yeah, like, he majored in fluid mechanics.
Right.
Okay.
Girl, you want to get wet. I majored in fluid mechanics.
Yeah. So anyways, he's very good at building a dam is what we're learning.
Yep.
And so they all morph beaver and they all start going.
Well, yeah, Axe, Marco, Rachel, they go beaver mode. Cassie, they go beaver mode.
Yeah.
Whereas Tobias and Jake go bird mode because they're going to go say hello to the campers.
Yeah, and this is also when we learn a very important fact right now. So these children have always morphed into like super tight spandex. You can see everything, right? However, they finally have gotten so good at morphing that they can do a t-shirt and jeans. they can finally do it. Congratulations, everybody.
Am I crazy? Is this the first time they've mentioned that?
Yep.
Because I was like, did they just casually drop that they can like morph full outfits now? Or
yeah. Well, yeah, the plot needed them to do it.
They just dropped that.
Yeah. Yeah, that could have been a whole book of them like, we need to learn how to like morph some better clothes, everybody.
Man, if only there were chapters of this book they could cut to talk about practicing morphing. I just don't know what it would be.
What would you cut?
I don't know.
I wouldn't cut it.
We got to keep everything with Spears and Joe Miller.
Well, think about what the heart of this book is.
It's Joe Miller.
It's Joe Miller.
God. We're all a little Joe Miller.
So anyways, thank God we could finally morph some halfway decent clothes, the result of a whole lot of experience. Boys in t-shirts and jeans generally look a lot saner than boys in spandex. So they just leveled up. They spent their points into dexterity and can now morph jeans. So that's good.
Yeah. And so Tobias and Jake, new powers enabled, wander to the camp and say, hey, it's going to rain tomorrow. You should go home. Like, it's going to snow. It's going to flood. And there's going to be lightning.
This fucking nerd in the back is like, no, it isn't.
I brought my television and the weatherman says it's going to be fine. It's like
who brings their TV?
Obviously the best campers.
Actually, the true story, the best camping experience I had is Sean, our mutual friend Sean, brought a TV into the woods and we all played Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that was good.
Right? You were there for that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Yep.
Played some Smash in the woods. It was great.
Yeah.
How did you get power? Like what? How did?
I don't remember how. Like it wasn't a generator, was it? It was something. It was like some battery pack that he was able to hook up to a TV to get working.
It was something.
Smash was fun, is what I would say.
Yeah, Smash Brothers, big fans of this. We're fans on this podcast.
And so, like, similar nerd here is like, no, I've been watching TV all day in the woods.
Yeah.
And the weatherman said that there was no problem with this whole situation. There's no rain. You're lying. You're lying to get our spot, you little sons of bitches.
You little fucking weasel.
That's right. Hey, listen, there's a code.
We paid $30 for this.
There's a hiker's code, okay? Right? Okay, what does he say, actually? People need to trust one another in the wilderness. You don't need to make up stories just to get someone else's campsite. Right? So, okay.
Tobias and Jake look at each other, realizing it's not working.
They suck at this.
Yeah.
They're real bad. They're like, okay, let's do it.
And then Jake's like, all right.
Yep.
Jake says, I know, Tobias. I know there are consequences. That was my job to know the consequences. It was also my job to make the tough decisions, to lead. I started to morph. It's okay, Tobias called. What you're going to see will shock you, but don't panic. We're only trying to help. Lewis was the first to react. He clutched at his glasses and stepped back, groped behind him with his free hand until he bumped into a tree. His mouth hung wide open. The man dropped his television in the leaves. His face went white. One boy by the campfire stumbled to his feet and then took off into the woods. Don't be frightened, Tobias repeated. Morphing is not pretty. It's disturbing and grotesque. Of course the campers were frightened. Anyone would be. My human body began to twist violently. Big, flesh-tearing teeth sprouted from my gums. Ears migrated to the top of my head. Shoulders hunched, spine expanded, skin toughened, fur orange with black stripes spread across my flesh. The liquid spilled out of a jar. Until finally, I fell forward into the dirt, all 500 pounds of me. So, Jake morphed in front of people.
Yeah.
And then Tobias morphs in front of people.
Yeah. I mean, is that a big deal? I don't know. They want it to be a big deal, but it
is a big deal.
I suppose.
This is a group of like 20 people, and they're like, we're going to tell you everything.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think it's more to signify like, hey, they're getting more open about the things that have been going on in this secret war, right? The secret war is becoming less secret, so we need to get more unsecret allies. Why not these campers?
Right.
So, chapter 14, let's go back to our favorite character, Isaiah Fitzhenry.
Woo! Isaiah Fitzhenry!
He's back. Here it comes.
Blam, blam, blam. 50 rebel soldiers come in, doing their rebel yell. Whoop, whoop, yee-haw. Whoop, whoop, yee. Whoop, yee. Whoop, yee. Rebel yell, whoop, yee. Oh, that should be the rebel yell. From now on it is.
I'll answer you with lead. Spears shouted down his gun barrel. I'll answer you with lead. I mean, okay, come on, that's kind of cool.
You want me to do it as Irish?
Please.
Hold on to you with lead. Me bye, blah, blah.
The war happens.
Yeah, the war happens now.
Yeah, the war happens. They all yell fire. They're all like, it's also like real stupid war where they all like line up in a line and they do that thing.
Don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes.
Right.
Rebel drum beat the woods. General Forrest was upon us. But no, only 50 men. And people are getting shot down.
Yeah.
Like, good. And I mean, yeah, the rebel yell is yee-haw, yoop, yee-haw.
Yes, that's what I thought.
God damn.
And so, like, guns are being shot everywhere. And wouldn't you know it, like, our brave volunteers, that they're caught in this gunfire, right?
And they take up their shovels and start bashing fools.
They try.
They
get shot, actually. I'm just going to say it. A Negro was struck in the chest. He hit the dirt and rolled, screaming. Still, Jacob did not take cover. He raised his shovel like a weapon. And so, yeah, they're fighting back. See, Tyler, I said it, and I wasn't weird about it. Because I'm secretly racist.
Oh my god!
Now you're being weird about it.
We're free. We're free now. Like we've done it. Like
no.
Wait. Okay, Tyler. Okay. I didn't like saying it.
Why are you smiling then?
Because it was funny.
Lauren, can you see him smiling? He's so happy. No,
I'm happy for you. To be honest,
Well, thank you.
God.
Okay. You know what?
It's good to be happy.
What did you do, Nate?
It's good to be happy. I've ascended.
Now call me Joe Miller. Nate, kill the Joe Miller in your heart.
I mean, like, it should stick out like a sore thumb, but also that's what this book is. That's what I said. So anyways, let's move on. So, the battle kind of happens. They eventually get beaten back, or rather they just run away. Right. And so it's explained that this is just kind of a testing troop where it's like, we want to know what your defenses are. And they now know they're useless.
Right.
Right. So the injured get pulled away. Isaiah gets shot.
It hits his belt buckle.
Right.
He lives.
He thinks he's dead. But no, he shot his Bible. Or his belt buckle. His belt buckle.
That was like a Bible for my dad in the way he used it on me.
That's got so many layers. I don't even... That took me like a minute to just... My brain just froze for a minute.
That's fine. I'm a good boy now. I'm a good boy.
And well, no, you know what? Somebody has learned a lesson here, right?
And it's Joe Miller.
Well, actually, no. 2 people have learned a lesson. Yep. One, the person who was shot, the black person who was shot and died, he learned a lesson, which is war is stupid. You should go. Lesson number 2.
Those slaves, Joe Miller said, I'll give them credit for determination. He glanced at the battlefield, at the Union men rounding up rebel prisoners, and looked back at me. This was just a slight effort, I said hoarsely. A testing of our defense. The Rebs will be back soon. Miller nodded. That's why you need the help of every man you can find, he said, looking at the... Arm them, train them, and let them fight.
Yeah. So Joe Miller, he's not racist anymore. He's like Albie, the racist dragon.
The 180 with Joe Miller. I was like, ooh. Yeah, Joe Miller's approval now. Like, nothing
finally
can stop me.
Here's my theory about Joe Miller. It's like, I bet you had some like crazy belief. Like, did you know that black people, they bleed green?
No.
Right? But
no,
like, when he saw someone get shot, he's like, oh, they're just like me. They bleed red. Oh, no.
No. Because there are doctors who still think that black people have stronger skin or that their teeth are harder to pull out. Like, there's still medical racism.
Well, now you're just making me sad. I was making
You should be sad.
I don't want to be sad.
It's still taught in fucking medical school that like, like black people are stronger. They don't need as much pain medicine. They're naturally tough. Like, that's still taught.
Yeah, that's not good. They shouldn't teach that.
I'm gonna fucking
maybe. Okay, hold on.
I'm going to become the Joe Miller Joker.
If we're saying that doctors are Joe Miller, all they need to do is to see a black man be shot, and they're saying,
Why?
Oh my goodness!
Well, I'm just going by the calculus in this book. That's what's happening.
This black man hurt like I hurt.
See, that's all they needed.
God damn it, Lauren! I'm so sorry for Nate.
I'm sorry for all of us, to be honest. I'm sorry, listeners. I'm sorry on behalf of the whole podcast. Do I have the authority to apologize on behalf of the pod?
Yeah, you're a co-host now. That means you're equal, an equal co-host with the rest of us.
But might I also say I will never apologize.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
Yeah,
I take it back. I don't apologize either, and I'd do it again.
That's right.
God damn it.
So let's go back to Jake, shall we?
Yeah.
He's just having a good time with the beaver.
No,
He is.
No, the campers believed. The initial terror on their faces softened to looks of curiosity and recognition. And they're like, wow, you're just like Star Trek.
So Tyler, I would like to correct you on something. Tell me about Tuvok. What show is Tuvok on?
Deep Space Nine?
No, he's not.
Voyager?
He's on Voyager. That's right.
I've seen part of Next Generation. That's it. I've seen a little into the 4th season.
I'm just saying, the last episode, you said that Tuvok was on Deep Space Nine. It made people very upset.
Fuck them.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you're upset about that, guess what? Roll that upsetness into a ball and shove it up your ass.
You know who can do that? Odo can do that.
I don't know what the fuck
he can morph.
What solar system are you from? Are you with the Federation? Is your ship in orbit or on land? Unbelievable. I almost laughed. I said, we're from Earth, just like you. So, stupid Richard here thinks that they're fucking Jean-Luc Picard in their ass.
Richard is my favorite character. Richard is actually like the hero of this book for me.
He has an arc.
He immediately starts LARPing.
Yeah.
Like he goes from like see the monster to LARPing.
Ah, yes, Richard said. I always knew you lived among us. I have friends who've seen your ships. We don't have any ships, Tobias said. Richard reached out, grasped Tobias' hand, and pumped it in a too long handshake. Then he grabbed my hand. I'm honored to meet you. So very, very, very honored.
Lauren, why do you like Richard so much?
Richard is just like, he's just entertaining to me. Like, he's so stupid. Like, everyone else is very, like, I mean, you know, I wouldn't say everyone else is like smart about it, but at least they have reasonable reactions. And like Richard reminds me of what's the kid from Steven Universe? The one that's always like, keep Beach City weird.
I don't know.
There's gems in Steven Universe. They use gems.
Yes,
okay, I got that.
They are gems. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I don't know.
There's a character in Steven Universe that's basically this. Like, anytime something serious and alien happens, he's like, wow, let me take a picture. Let me interview you. Let me, like, can I poke this, like, cool big red button that will, like, blow up the planet? And they're like, no, like, go away. This is serious. So I just love Richard because everyone else is, like, the book is so serious and so just, I don't know, just fucked in general.
And it needs Richard. Richard needs to be there.
And you look at what's happening in the world right now, where a section of our society is watching the death and fight of other people.
Good point, Tyler. You should really bring this conversation down a bit.
And they like Richard is treating what's being explained to him, a real honest to God war, as TV entertainment. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna kick some ass. I cannot wait to fight the evil aliens. Yeah, just like TV. And it was hard not to think of the shit that's happening in the world, how people just treat the struggles of others and war and awful things like it's TV.
I don't think you're wrong, but also that person exists.
Yeah.
Everyone
around us.
Richard is real. Richard, he lives in a fantasy land, and that's fine. Except, however, he should not join battles.
Yeah.
I actually laughed at the Prime Directive comment.
Yeah.
Like that actually made me laugh. Like
that one got me too.
Up. This is not Star Trek. Can you please be serious for a minute? We can't beam you up anywhere. And he's like, right, because that would violate the Prime Directive. Like, no, we're trying to tell you.
Right.
But he's also like not wrong. They have a Prime Directive they are breaking right now.
Yes.
They're doing that. So like he understands the gravity of the situation. So he's kind of onto something. He's like, okay, I'll keep it secret because, you know, Prime Directive.
Yeah, so
we're not advanced enough. I get it.
But like giant wink, like, oh right, because of the Prime Directive.
Right.
We're like, no, we're trying to tell you you're in danger. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, danger of learning the Prime Directive. Am I right, folks?
So the stupid kids of Richard, Mr. Richard, what's his name?
Lewis and Emily.
Yes, Lewis and Emily. They understand everything completely. They're smarter than Dad. Dad's kind of an idiot. And they're like, yes, we want to help. You know, we need to help you in this war.
They explain what Yeerks are. They explain what controllers are. Right. They explain how anyone you know could be a controller, and you cannot trust anyone. You cannot have evidence. You can't do anything. Take them back to the Hork-Bajir camp. Lewis immediately takes a picture.
Right.
And Jake just rips the camera out of his hand and gets rid of the film. Man, remember when cameras had film?
Shut up.
That's when we realized Toby is a magical Hork-Bajir and heard they were coming because the trees told her.
The tree. Oh my God. The trees whispered something about new friends who would take up our cause. Human friends who would join our fight. I see many things, Jake. Many things. It's like, yeah, cool.
I mean, we've always kind of known the Seers were magic.
Well, I think my favorite part is it has nothing to do with the story. She just does that now.
Yeah.
Like, you throw that in there, like, oh, she knows the future? Cool.
I mean, I would do that. If I could see the future, I would just do it randomly. Like, every once in a while, I would just be like, yeah, I saw that coming. Because I can see the future. Just, you know, in case you forgot.
Yeah, or you can just lie and people wouldn't be able to know.
This reminds me of a bit from the Venture Brothers where the action man spills something on Dr. Orpheus and it's just a minor annoyance. And Dr. Orpheus grabs his hand and he goes, 2 years, 8 months, 4 days. And he goes, huh? And he goes, it's a stroke. And it's like, it's a fast little line, but if you catch it, you catch it.
2 years, 17 days. From a stroke. Good day!
And that's what I'd do if I could tell the future.
Oh, no.
Or at least if people thought you could tell the future.
Right. I mean, I kind of can with dying patients, 6 hours.
Oh, God.
No. Oh, God.
Toby should do that. Anyways, let's get back to our favorite story of Isaiah
Fitzhenry.
What is he out doing?
They
lost the battle.
Yeah, they've decided to arm all the black people, which we should. Like now, we should do that now.
I mean, I would say like no guns, but like if there are guns, then everyone gets guns.
all people should have guns.
That's right. They're fun. Thomas, he says like gun control. Let's add more controversy here. Let's throw it all in.
I stared into the black faces of nearly 30 men. Their bodies stiff and tall before me. The sun beat down from the zenith of its path, but its rays weren't sufficient to warm us.
You could just say faces.
Right, like exactly.
Like when I saw, because originally when you said it, I'm like, oh, they're dirty? Like, just like, well, because they just went through a war. It's like, oh no, because they're black.
That's like a really weird, like, yeah, that's super unnecessary. Like the rest of them is black too. Like you could just, that's. I don't get it.
By the way,
they grabbed the guns with their black hands. Okay, chewed the food with their black mouths.
Can I point out something about the movie Volcano, please? So the movie Volcano.
Oh God!
There's a movie called Volcano, and there's a volcano in LA, and it's going off, and it's bad news. And our hero saves a child, and at the end of the movie, the movie has like undertones of the LA race riots.
Yeah, because there's a cop who doesn't want to let a black person help the cops save people from the volcano.
Right.
And eventually the racist learns that black people are good and that black people can also save people from volcanoes. And at the end of the movie, the volcano erupts. Everyone's covered in ash. And the little girl goes, everyone's covered in ash. You can't tell who's what race or whatever. Like,
let's go find your mom. What's she look like?
She looks like... Look at their faces. They all look the same.
Like that's directly it. There's no subtext. It's like you can't tell who's black or white.
Oh no.
Little girl, there's a volcano that just went off. That's your thing.
Oh no.
Anyways, let's move on, please.
Let's get into the massa.
What the massive? Massive.
Yeah. No,
Supermassive Black Hole, my favorite song from
You still like Muse, even though they've come out as like super racist? All right, chuds. Yep.
Wait, they're racist too?
Yep.
Muse, no.
Yep, Muse.
Oh no, Muse.
Yeah. You could say their time is running out.
Okay, no, but
so they give rifles to they finally arm the able-bodied black men, and one of them says, "I wish my massa could see me now."
I think you said that wrong. Because we know that tone, and we know what that tone is.
I'm angry at it. Like,
yeah, no, you should be angry.
My jaw dropped when I read that. I was like, "Oh no!"
Right.
Like,
there's no reason for it.
Oh no!
So okay, but like, are we sure Ellen Guru is white? I don't know.
If anyone knows, can you please let me know?
Yeah. Ellen Guru, I still love you. Please tell me your race.
Volcano was wrong. It's important. Like, we don't need to say anything about that. People know that's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah, but putting it in a kid's book and having this one character completely defined by how he wishes his ex-master could see him elevating himself in the world, that's another trope of slavery stories, and it can go.
Yep.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's not good.
Unequivocally, it's bad. No jokes. No bits. No foolies. Bad. They fucked it up, and they do it like 3 times. And this is where Spears, or is it Rains? The guy training them with guns scares this poor guy. It's like they're training them to shoot, but he keeps pulling the trigger by this guy, Samson's brain. And he's like pulling the trigger, scaring him to show them that they're not ready to fight and to train them to shoot while shooting is happening.
I actually kind of liked that idea of like, you know, it's like, oh, I can shoot a gun pretty straight. I'm pretty good. And then like, okay, but can you shoot a gun straight while there's a gun shooting next to you as well? Like that actually, like, this is going to sound extremely trite, but it reminds me of when I was prepping for some interview stuff for an accelerator program for my company, which is very much like the Civil War in a lot of ways. But no,
brother versus brother.
Yes. Founder versus founder. But no, but the interview process is known for being like super grueling and super like intense, right? And people are like firing these like rapid fire questions at you and stuff. And one of the things that we had to do is train to answer the questions while under pressure. And of course you can't like simulate pressure and distraction, like, you know, it's hard to simulate that, right? So what we would do is we would have someone else in the room with like a big basket of rolled up like socks. And while you're answering the questions, people just bean you with these socks because you have to like dodge and like try not to get hit in the eye with shit. And you're trying to like answer the questions. And that was supposed to be like the super intense training for like the interview.
And you like Silicon Valley?
This is good?
Silicon Valley. Okay, so the TV show is so hilarious to me because it's actually very accurate.
Oh, no, 100%.
Like, and the crazier the thing, the more accurate it is.
Are you pre-revenue or post-revenue? No, you don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. It's fine. No. Let's talk about racism.
We're profitable, you know. Just want to put that out there so Lincoln hears that, you know, because I want Lincoln to be proud of me. So
Lincoln should be proud of you. You fucking rule. Lincoln, listen up.
Lincoln's listening. He's building his logs. He has his logs. He's ready to go.
You know he's up there in heaven laying pipe on Mrs. Lincoln.
Miss Lincoln, tie
laying stovepipe.
Yeah. That's why he wears the hat.
Of course, it's so simple now.
It's thick and it's long, and that's why I'm on your penny. Nate, I'm gonna go get another beer and continue laughing at laying stovepipe.
Okay, I'll try to move the plot along. So, the plot is that they've now become real good at shooting guns. They know how to shoot them now. You know, they hit all their targets. They shoot the hell out of those tin cans. They only get 10 shots to practice with because they don't have a lot of ammunition. Yeah, it's a bonding moment between all of them. They're becoming closer as a group of soldiers.
It's also a metaphor, to be honest.
You know, like they really get closer. They start laying pipe.
So just to be serious for a minute, it actually kind of is a metaphor, right? That as I'm reading this back and kind of discussing it in this context, right? It is kind of interesting that they're put into this situation where, you know, people didn't believe that they could fight. People didn't believe that they could, like, you know, be involved or like whatever, right? And their training consists of 10 rounds, right? So they're going up against people who are professional soldiers and they have 10 bullets to prepare for this war. And at the end of the day, they're still going to be judged on the same footing, you know, the battlefield, right? So I just thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, that sounds right.
And I mean, that's an excellent point, one that I definitely didn't catch. But also, this is what's maddening about this book is there are little moments like this that just shows Ellen Guru's a good writer. Like, I hate that. I hate that so much in this book. I hate that. Especially having to do with the Isaiah stuff.
Do you think she was like mad that she had to write this one?
We have theories.
We were talking about this, like, was she just given notes of what to write and she had to write this?
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, you know, she's a ghost writer. Like, they provide, like, what you're going to be talking about. And so this, you know, kind of feels like a Michael Grant story in some ways, right? Like, you know, Michael Grant likes war stories and Civil War he seems like a Civil War guy. And I'm not saying that like in a negative sense, but I'm saying in the sense like he loves that kind of military history of brother versus brother. And so he probably gave her this story and we'll never know.
I don't think a probably white woman would come up with. Well, that's not true.
Allegedly white.
Yeah, allegedly. Ellen Guru, please let us know.
Tyler, it's like the end of Volcano. We don't know her color. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, she's covered in ash from lighting this book on fire. But
oh my God, you can't just ask people why they're white.
Tyler, why are you white?
Meth.
Well,
meth in Ireland. The two things.
The two ingredients make Tyler McCarty.
That's what made me was meth in Ireland. No.
Chapter 17. Jake.
He's watching the Hork-Bajir set up an assembly line.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is where we really get into like some other weird Hork-Bajir like power structures.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that apparently, I didn't know this, and I'm going to sound really bad saying this, but I always thought that they fought with like their knives and their hooks because they're described as like human
salad shooters.
Salad shooters,
Yeah.
that's right. You know, it's like they're flying razor blades. They're food processors. But did you know they actually use spears? I didn't know this. They never have fought with spears before.
Is it weird that the Hork-Bajir,
yes,
in this book, for the first time ever, in a parallel story, like being compared to freed slaves,
okay, yes, yeah,
are being placed into trees and making spears to throw?
Oh my God.
You know, maybe like
Ellen Guru wrote this book in protest. That's what this was. She was like, how dare you make me write this one? You're going to suffer for this. We're all going to, if I have to write this, no one's going to have fun today.
Like there's part of me that's like, am I reading too deep into this?
This has to be an accident, right? Like, that's no way.
No, I don't think it's an accident. Like,
she's not like, oh, well, this is what black people do. Like, no, this is an accident, right?
Like, I'm sure an argument could be made like, yeah, they don't have guns, they don't have Dracon beams, they have to make what they have near them, which these beautiful idiot savages can only make spears from the trees they live in, which I don't like that. I don't like that.
No. And even then, like, it makes sense for them to be building defenses, right?
Yes.
They build the traps, actually.
Yeah, they build the holes in the grounds with the spikes.
That's right. They build the Vietnam War, like, you know, spiky trap holes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you step on the leaves and you fall in and they get you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Didn't need to make spears. The notes, you want, like, I'm writing notes to Ellen Guru. Ellen Guru, please do not have them throw spears. Thank you.
Right. Jake tells them that he told humans, like, he's like, oh, we have a group of about 20 people now who know our secret and are helping. And they're like, Jake, how could you do this? And Jake says, actually, Marco, you did this.
Yeah.
You started this. I'm just continuing it. It's done.
Yeah, he had to make a decision.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that's a good Jake thing.
Yeah, he even says, I made the decision and it was done and we moved on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, finally. Jake the leader. There it is.
Right? Like, I like that Jake character.
Good stuff.
He's become the Bat.
Don't make me.
I think so. I think, like, you know, he's gained a little bit more of a character and confidence they just hasn't had before. He's being empowered by the racism. He's, really gained that strength. And so that's that chapter. And then we move on to like more of the building of the dam.
They got to build the dam. They need Jake's help. Jake's got to turn.
What about the countdown?
Yeah, there is that, isn't there? So in these books, we've had these like dotted lines, bold text. When Jake tells the other Animorphs that they've told the humans, no one laughed. And then the countdown has begun.
Whoa, I don't have that in my version.
You don't have that in your version?
No, I can't see it.
It will all be over very, very soon.
What? There's a countdown?
Look at that.
Oh, that's
it's like
sick.
a special little like section, yeah.
Have these not been in the like books?
No, that's what I got.
Turn the page.
Okay.
Whoa, he doesn't have it.
I don't have it.
Oh, wow.
Kindle, you know.
Do better. You're the Ellen Guru of digital books.
That's right.
We love you, but you got some bad ideas.
So, okay, the countdown has begun.
Countdown to the end, baby.
That's right. So what's the most important thing they could do?
Turn into beavers. Build a dam.
Turn into beavers. Build a dam.
Finally.
Swoop, thwump, ping, ping, ping. Thick brown fur spouted all over my body. I suddenly felt warm, like I pulled on a wetsuit. Poot, poot. My back legs appeared as short little flipper feet. Thwump. A heavy weight pulled on my rear end. I turned my head around, stretching my spine. A paddle, a tool, a tail.
Lauren, you know what time it is?
I have a feeling.
Nate, do you know what time it is?
Shit. Yeah, it's like pretty late actually.
Lauren, do you want to lead us in this one, or do you want us to do it?
Can we do it together?
We can do it together.
This is our rebel yell. This is our
whoop yee,
whoop, there it is.
Whoop,
there it is. Whoop, there it is. We got animal facts.
Animal facts.
facts. Woo! Beaver facts.
There it is.
Whoop.
Prince Jake and Cassie, Tobias and Axe, Rachel and Margot, the bandits are here. They want to listen to animal facts. Fuck all the yurts. Margot's mom is a bitch.
So, we'll start the simple stuff.
Okay.
Beavers live about 16 years.
Really?
Yeah, about 16 years.
About a dog. They're just dogs. Come on, everybody's just,
they're
just dogs.
They're rodents, actually. The largest rodents in North America. And they got orange teeth. You know why they got orange teeth?
All those carrots they eat.
Most mammals have white or yellow teeth because of the magnesium.
Ooh.
Beavers have orange teeth because there's iron in the teeth, because their teeth are stronger, because their teeth continuously grow, because their teeth are needed to chew and eat wood.
Could I melt down a beaver and make a sword?
Yes. It would be a bad sword made of melted beaver, more like soup. Would you use soup as a sword? No. You'd have more fun skinning the beaver and making a hat or a cape.
But just put like a little magnet over it, get like the little iron filings from those teeth and make a sword.
So beavers are one of the only wild animals that modify their habitat for the better. And the reason we have such proliferation and genetic diversity in birds is because beavers have modified environments. Them building water-rich environments helped spread birds and, like I said, diversify bird breeding.
They made birds.
Made them better.
They made birds.
So beavers can be anywhere from, like this book, 40 pounds to 110 pounds.
Wow.
What's a 110-pound beaver look like?
It's about 1/8 of a shack.
Like, really?
I mean, I'm guessing.
How long? Like the size of like a dog, big dog.
Yeah, they get fucking huge. Especially the Asian ones, they get big. Whoops, Eurasian beavers get bigger.
Oh no!
Which
are they also industrious?
They're better at math. No, they're engineers. No, they are considered engineers because of what they build.
Yeah, I'm also considered an engineer. The other people don't like that.
So another thing about them. Most people probably know this. Castoreum. Lauren, do you know about castoreum?
I know about castoreum.
Oh boy.
You've eaten castoreum.
You've eaten castoreum without knowing it. So
no, I'm scared. What is castoreum?
Beavers have a set of glands between their ass and their genitals that need to be milked for a fluid called castoreum. It is sort of, think of it like a thicker molasses. And it's said to smell like vanilla, and it's used in candy, it's used in vanilla flavoring, it's used in ice cream, it's used in soda. You are drinking beaver ass juice.
In fact, here I'm drinking a orange vanilla seltzer. I bet you has castoreum in it.
So
Laffy Taffy, confirmed. Laffy Taffy, the vanilla Laffy Taffy is castoreum.
And they do not get this castoreum from dead beavers. They have to milk it out of them while they're alive.
Who discovered this? Who was just like...
Trappers.
It's the Knacker Man.
The beaver Knacker Man.
He's back.
So that's a thing. A lot of people know that.
A lot of people?
I did not. Like the fun fact people throw out about beavers is like, oh, they have glands and they have these glands to make vanilla flavor.
Oh, Jan, how pastoral. Boring.
Either of y'all know why we refer to vaginas as beavers?
Because oily hair.
Because they both eat wood. No, so, and it's not.
I would have believed you.
They both eat wood. They're smelly, wet. No,
full of iron.
Yeah, once a month. So it didn't start as a vagina. It's morphed that way now.
Yeah, okay.
Beaver referred to a beaver pelt that sex workers would wear over their shaved vaginas because lice would break out in sex worker pubic hair. So they had to keep their vaginas shaved, but they would wear a beaver pelt merkin. And that's why it's called a beaver.
Oh.
So there's the Animorphin time fact.
Fascinating.
You can get a beaver pelt blanket for $130.
That seems mean, though.
Yeah. So then it takes about 10 to 13 pelts to make a beaver jacket.
How many souls are in this blanket right now?
So how big do you think the biggest beaver dam is?
Not like Hoover Dam size. Like, we got to be real here. But probably pretty big.
I don't know, like a football field or something?
I'll tell you. Mm-hmm. It's in Canada, and you can see it from space. That's
from
the
space.
big
Wow.
from space. It is 800 meters long.
How long?
Wow.
What's a meter?
I don't know, 3 feet, some change.
Okay.
So, you want to hear about beaver attacks?
Do I ever?
Yes.
Beavers don't often attack humans.
They attack Cassie.
Well, yeah, you grab a beaver, you're gonna get bit. So, there was a story from I think 2013. Where a beaver mauled a Boy Scout leader because it was rabid, and the troop had to come together and stone the beaver to death.
Were they like yelling shame?
A group of children had to stone a beaver to death because it went nuts and bit their leader. There's been one confirmed death of human from beaver, and it was in Belarus in 2013 because in this area where there are a lot of beavers, more humans moved in. It made them more agitated.
Sure.
A beaver bit into this dude's femoral artery and he bled out.
No.
And elderly,
they have strong teeth. They can do that.
That one also got beat to death with a rock. God, anytime I looked up a story about a beaver attacking a human, someone was beating it to death with a rock right afterwards.
The beaver's natural enemy is the rock. Dwayne Johnson is just like rolling up.
I bet Dwayne Johnson's beat some beaver in his life.
He probably has. It's their natural enemy.
And that is what I got for beaver facts.
Wow.
That's beaver animal facts, y'all.
And you know what? Like, here's to the beaver.
Let's have a drink of beaver beer to the beaver.
Here's to the beaver. Thanks for your ass juice.
Yep.
Your dams.
Yep. The teeth.
And your beavers.
And being stoned to death.
That's right.
Oh, good shit.
Lauren, what was your favorite beaver fact?
I gotta say it was the merkin one because like I knew what that was and I had never. It was like I was almost there. I never made the connection between the merkin and the beaver pelt.
Me neither. Not till today. 18th century. Folks were wild. Let's put a fucking beaver pelt over our pussy.
I bet you there was a lonely miner that did have sex with a beaver. He probably did that.
And his name was Joe Miller. And I think it sounded a little something like this.
Yeehaw! Whoop, whoop, yeehaw!
There it is.
Let's move on, shall we? Where are we? Chapter 19?
They realize that the Yerks are coming.
They're coming. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
We knew that, though. We knew that they were coming. But they're coming right now.
No, right now, they was like, oh, fuck, the Yerks are coming.
Right.
They're coming up the mountain.
And so the nerdy dad is just like, oh, I didn't realize that we might die. We might die? Oh, shit, we might die. I'm going to go, actually. Like, kids, let's get together. Let's go. Jake, we're going to go, okay?
Yeah, Richard's like, I'm having none of this.
Yeah, but like Jake says, sorry, you can't. It's too late.
Right.
The Yerks are coming.
There's nowhere to go. Hide behind a rock. You'll be fine.
No, the beavers know better. They know that rocks are bad.
Honestly, this was one of my favorite parts of the book, was just Richard being like, when you say killed, he asked quietly, you mean killed as in stunned or captured, right? Like, no, they've literally been telling you this entire time, you're in danger, you're gonna die. And he's like, well, you mean like die in like a fun way? And they're like, no, like die as in dead. Like you're gonna fucking die.
As in you will see your body ripped apart while you die.
Okay, but Leonardo has a sword, but he never cuts anybody in half. Like a person. He always like sticks in the ceiling and doesn't kick. Or like, hits him with the back of the sword or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And it's beautiful. So they go battle morph mode. And then the baddies attack. It's all happening very fast. The Hork-Bajir show up. Visser 3 shows up as a fiery dragon.
Okay, but then all of a sudden, we cut to chapter 19, which is
Isaiah Fitzhenry, our boy of the year.
Hey, remember that momentum that we had? Screw it. We don't need momentum. We got Isaiah Fitzhenry.
Yeah.
And so he swears in these Union soldiers, these brave new Union soldiers.
It's like stupid, inspiring bullshit.
Like, I bet you when people like get their citizenship, they're probably just bored as hell. I know I would be.
No, I bet they're happy.
Yeah.
I hope they're happy.
I know it takes a lot of work, right? But it's just like, I wouldn't be, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a jaded person, but it's just like, Like, that's the part I have the hardest time with is that, like, I bet you there probably is a story about like an ex-slave who fought in the Civil War and, was very inspiring. It's just,
there were a bunch of them.
Yeah, so it's like,
and other podcasts cover them. Go listen to them. That ain't this. We're here to say the word.
Right. Well,
no.
But I mean, it's like, okay, this is probably based in something, right?
Right.
This probably has something.
No, it really is, and it's a shame that it's not taught to us because it's much cooler.
I'm probably sure it is, but like this isn't it though, right?
No.
Like. This is just like everyone agrees that this is a good idea, and they're all crying, and it's like, we're soldiers now.
Hooray! Honor!
Hooray!
Woo! Woo! Now
we did it.
Now let's get back to our boy.
Right, here we go.
Our friend, the one, the only, no longer Visser 3.
Right, Visser the one,
Visser the one, the Earl of Evil. Esplin 9466. Visser 1 coming in his multi-headed fire-breathing dragon morph, looking like Riker the Serpent King.
Wow, I remember this morph from episode 1.
Yeah, from when they're going in the Yerk pool. They even said, I haven't seen this morph since it all began.
You think you would just always use that one? It seems pretty good.
Yeah, those fire-spitting multi-headed dragon.
Yeah, maybe just use that all the time.
Fucking cool as shit.
That and the javelin fish, because sometimes you need to go in the water.
And our boy yells at them to surrender or die.
Well, yeah, because like, what else is he gonna do, right?
That's when Richard's like, "Okay, we really gotta fucking go." And Lewis, his son's like, "No, Dad, we can't go."
Mm-hmm.
The sky in the east glowed a pale and brightening blue. The sun would appear in minutes. Free Hork-Bajir were hunched in the trees and crouched low in trenches. We were in battle morph: tiger, gorilla, grizzly, and wolf. Axe was stationed at the dam. There wasn't a sound in the camp except a gentle rustle of wind in the treetops. We waited. My heart pounded like a rock in my chest. This would be a losing battle. It had to be.
Okay, we get some fighting.
We get, it's Animorphs fighting. You just see stuff exploding. There's onomatopoeias.
People are dying. The blue bands, they're fighting.
Yeah, we also get a nice little moment where the recently captured Hork-Bajir is a scout who leads them in.
Right. Yes, they're fighting. They're dying.
Visser 3 is screaming, "Ah, ha, ha, ha! You are outnumbered. Surrender at once or die!"
Isaiah Fitzhenry, Christmas morning.
Christmas morning, Isaiah Fitzhenry.
It's such a tease.
Anytime there's narrative momentum in the story that is fun, this shit happens.
Right. It's like, bugle. Could the rebel, the bugle plays. The army is here. They're here. They're ready to fight. It's a frontal attack. And yeah, they what do? They fight off the army, and it seems very easy. There's not many of them, right?
Yeah,
everyone's fighting very bravely, and they're
retreating. Reigns yelled.
Right.
Was it possible? Forrest would sooner die than take defeat. No, something in this was wrong. All wrong.
Chapter 23.
The rain came in a torrent now, turning the works to mud. The rebel line broke and scattered back towards the trees. It couldn't be victory. Jacob poured a powder charge and ripped a patch from his shirt. "Jacob," I called, "you've done your fighting. You've shown you can stand with the white men and not fail. Now go. Escape to the hills."
I literally have in my notes, oh my god, fuck you.
Yeah,
like,
right?
What? Like, you, fuck, oh my god.
Just fuck you forever and die.
Like, shut the fuck up, you Ken Burns Yankee Doodle ass bitch. Like, shut up. Like.
However, I've never felt the pride of standing with the white man.
All you've done is stand with white men, you piece of shit.
But you've done it. You found the experience. Now go.
You realized you're good like we are. Now go.
You played golf. Now go.
It's the end of Harry and the Hendersons. Get out of here. We don't need you anymore.
He's like crying. Yeah. No. So that's bad.
Yeah. Listen to me. Listen to me, Jacob. Forrest will be back. He'll make prisoners of us, but he will kill you. Do you hear me? Save your men, Jacob. It's your duty as a leader. Jacob looked up now. I'd gotten through. I want all you men who still can to choose life. Get back up into them hills and stay alive to fight another day. No one moved. Move out, he cried, shaking his arm.
Go on, get. I don't love you anymore.
Suddenly, a drum beat from the east. We froze. Me, Jacob, everyone. Another drum beat from the west. To our east and west was nothing but craggy rock terrain, impossible to climb on horseback. We'll be staying, Jacob said. You'll die, Lieutenant. The Lord may take me whenever he chooses, but I choose whether to die a free man fighting for what's mine or a coward enslaved by fear. The rebel yell rose like cries of 1,000 demons. Whoop, 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 whoop. There it is. And they die.
Yeah, they get shot. They all die.
Yeah. Striking true.
What was the reason?
Yeah, like, why? Why
Right.
have any of this?
Right. Oh, to prove that Jacob is like a noble dying guy. Striking the troopers streaming through. No, behind you, Jacob. Bam! Jacob shot in the back. His eyes catch mine as he falls, and I fall together.
It's about white and black solidarity. Don't you see? Don't you? Tyler, you obviously don't understand.
We all bleed on the ground together. You're right.
That's right.
Okay, but the best part about this is that he's dead. So then we don't have to listen to him anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good that he's dead.
We get
Actually,
one,
that's not true.
We get one more great Isaiah Fitzhenry moment in the last chapter, and it's a doozy.
I love it so much, and we'll get there.
We're so close. So the Hork-Bajir run away because the spears have been working.
The spears. They hurt.
They've got pointy sticks.
There's nothing against our Dracon beams.
Right.
Yeah.
Visser's blasting. Tobias is going for Visser 3. Like, Tobias is like, fuck it. I'll tear his fucking eyes out. All 90 of them.
Right. He does a good job.
Visser 3 just immediately brains Tobias, knocks him down.
Jake yells like, release the dam. Come on, do it.
Come on, so Axe, please release the dam. Please, anybody out there listening, if there's any help, please release the dam. Jake runs for Visser 3 to distract him from Tobias, slashes at him, bite him at him. Visser 3 wraps his tentacles around Jake. He's like, I'm finally going to eat you, you stupid idiot. Then the river is released.
Oh, they did it.
The flood happens.
Ooh.
Taxon, who previous to this could swim just fine. Doesn't matter. Hork-Bajir, all washed away.
By the way, we should point out how useless the Taxon were.
Yeah.
Again, they pop. Like, why send out balloons? They just like explode.
Because balloons are scary. Didn't you see it?
Yeah, okay. You can get but like, yeah, they were useless. And like they get washed away. Everyone gets washed away. Any survivors get washed away. Jake almost gets washed away.
Right. Visser 3 gets washed away. We find out that our sweet boy Richard is dead.
Richard, no.
Richard is dead.
Richard died.
Like how?
Like
he peacefully passed away behind the rock.
It's like, was he shot? No, he just was real scared.
Emily and Lewis are crying.
Their dad is dead.
And Richard's dead. It's like, we took heavy casualties. Richard's dead.
And 50 Hork-Bajir are also dead. But Richard's
dead.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Richard, no. Richard.
Yeah.
My notes just say R.I.P. dumbass. That's what it says.
Yeah.
He died as he lived, dumb and beautiful.
That's right. He died for something, which is this fantasy Star Trek. He died for Star Trek.
Yeah.
I almost wanted Richard and Cassie's dad to be friends. Like, I feel like they would have been friends.
They would have been, right?
Yeah. You know what? They love to grill, I bet. They both love grilling.
They'd fight over that at first and then realize they're both so good at it. It's like, you're cooking it too long. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Richard, Cassie's dad. Ooh.
Rachel saves a young child.
Yeah, saves Jerahami's new baby.
Yeah, they do it a lot, apparently.
I mean, wouldn't you if you were free to do it?
Sure. Why not? Just have kids. It's fun. And so yeah,
the Hork-Bajir have agreed to move on for now because their valley's been flooded. The Yeerks, they know the Yeerks will come back, but they made their stand and they won.
It's about sending a message, I guess.
Right. Toby even says it may not feel like a victory, but this is our home now. We've proved it. which I don't know, fine. Like
I wish it was for something more.
Like if you removed the Civil War chapters from this, that would be a pretty good ending.
Sure, that'd be a good Animorphs ending.
And Jake goes home. He's exhausted. Family's having a good time. They're all grilling, like they are actually grilling. And Jake's like, fuck this, I'm going to bed. But first, I'm going to the basement to look at Grandpa G's box.
Okay, I flipped through the last pages of Fitzhenry's journal. Hooves trampling through the dirt around me. Screams and wails of bloody dying men. Unending nightmare. Cannot get a full breath. Numbness spreading through my arm. Vision blurring. Growing narrow. Like a field of glass. The darkening tunnel.
Jake, honey, lunch is ready. I jumped. Mom's voices startled me. Coming, Mom, I called. I'll be right there. You'd better, midget, Tom yelled down the stairs, or I'll eat your burger. I looked at the diary's last words where blood and rain had smeared the ink.
I fear I am killed. I hope that I've done my best. I hope...
Those were the last legible words. Fitzhenry had tried and lost. How would my last page read? How would my story end?
I hope I have done my best. Ow!
Oh, I'm dead. Ack, I am slain. Yeah, I whispered, closing the book. Me too.
I love that he wrote that he was dying.
I like that he took out the diary to write this.
It's that Monty Python joke where they go to the cave of Og, and it's like the guy writing the note. It's called the cave of Og because he wrote Arg on the cave because he was dying.
That's so stupid.
I love it.
So stupid. So good.
I love that ending so much because, like, he just wrote down he's dying. I've been shot and now my life is passing before my eyes.
I see my vision narrowing. I hear my great-grandmother calling to me. There is a blinding light and a warmth I have not known in some time. I am watching my vital fluids slip from my meat prison of a body.
Oh my gosh.
So that's the end of this.
That's how that book ends.
That's how this book ends.
Jesus
Jake
Christ.
reading his great-great-great-uncle's death memoir. Lauren, did you like this book?
Jesus Christ.
Where are you at on this one?
This is like a negative 12 out of 10. Like,
it's hard. It was entertaining, but not in the way they intended. Like, it's so bad. I'm just like, how could you write this? No, stop.
Right, yeah.
Every line was just a new thing.
What was the reason for any of this? Like, why did we even need a Civil War book at all in this? Like,
we don't.
No, you want to know the reason, and it makes it so much worse. It's to make the Hork-Bajir black. The entire book was to make the Hork-Bajir black. Like, that's the only... Like, can you think of another reason? I can't. It's like, oh, we need to relate to the Hork-Bajir more. Or rather, we need to make Jake look better. Right? So if he was saving a bunch of black people, that'd be better.
And here's something we didn't really talk about in the moment, but when the Hork-Bajir are having the vote to stay in their home, Jake talks down to them like they're stupid. And if you're going to have a parallel of the Hork-Bajir being runaway slaves, and you have your main character talking down to them, you're talking down to black people. Like, kids...
But wait, hold on, wait. Jake can't be racist. He is dating a black girl.
Shut the fuck
up. Have you thought about that?
No.
Fuck.
Have we considered that part?
Fuck.
But like, it sucks so much. It did not need to happen at all.
There is an interesting story here if you cut all the Civil War shit out.
It would have been so much nicer because, like, yeah, you know what? Like, a rebellion's a good story. That is a good story. Right?
Yeah.
The Hork-Bajir had a good story up until this point. Right?
Yeah, and this changes the nature of them. And I hate it.
I think the worst part is, like, after the last book, I was like, well, at least we're done with, like, the random military bullshit side story things that are going on. And nope, we're not done.
It can actually get worse, as it turns out.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
Things can be so bad. And they're already so bad. Oh, god damn.
This might be the worst Animorphs book that I've ever read.
Yes.
In fact, no, it is. It just is.
It's definitely like, I hate that Ellen Guru wrote this because she's smart, she's talented, she's obviously a good writer, but the harm that this book does is fucking insane. Like, to correlate black people with Hork-Bajir.
Well, I mean, like, it's one of those things where, why has nobody else talked about this book? Like, is this like known in the fandom at all? Like, do people
Fuck
talk
if
about
I
47?
know.
Or is it just like one of those things like, oh, we don't talk about 47?
Everybody hates it. I do know that.
Okay. Well, good. Then that works out.
But Animorphs, like I said, has a race problem, and this centers that problem and is like, hey, aren't we doing a good job? Like, aren't we doing good?
Okay, so let me save it a little bit. It's not malicious. It's not trying to be mean. Right? I mean, I don't think it's trying to be mean, but it is racist.
It's
yeah. Yeah, this is a good one. No, I don't know. What
I
do we
even know what to say? Like,
me neither. It stops my brain. I don't
like
what I could say. Okay, here's a concrete statement.
Okay.
I've never been so offended in my entire life.
Wow.
No,
What?
I'm kidding. No, I've definitely been more offended, but I haven't been that offended all week. I'll say that.
Fuck, I'm so sorry.
It's been a long week. I don't know.
It's Saturday. Like,
what do we do with this?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, okay, does it ruin Animorphs? I don't think it ruins Animorphs, but it does bring up some like real 90s problems. Like this feels so 90s, right? Like, it feels like this is one of those things where like this is a time capsule of just stupidity.
Yeah.
Right? Because because the movie, I kind of think of the damn movie Glory, right? Don't watch Glory, but also watch Glory.
I feel like I'm gonna have to watch Glory. Like,
please don't. It's on Hulu, but don't. but it's just like it's this. Well, it's also like Dances with Wolves. It's also like The Last Samurai, which is not in the 90s, but like it's the same idea.
The white savior, the white man sets them free.
Right. It's all for the idea of making white people more comfortable with that they did some horrendous shit in the past.
Horrendous.
It's a word.
Horrendous and heinous.
That's
horrendous.
Right. That's right. And like, it's there to service white people to make them feel better about racism. That's all it is. That's the purpose of this book. That's the purpose of Glory. Is like, actually, like, there were some good white people. Maybe I wasn't that bad in the past. Actually, if I went to the past, if I had a time machine, I would be that brave colonel who led those black men to die. Like, and it's like one of those. It's a white fantasy because, like, it's certainly not a black fantasy.
It's just weird because it's unnecessary though. Because it's not even like there was some stuff in the book that was racist that would make you, as the reader, like feel the need to be absolved. Like, not like it was. Yeah. This was unnecessary. Like, nobody had said anything.
It was a misfire. Like, maybe he like sent a note to say like talk about the Civil War. Ellen Guru was like, oh, racism. And like he meant like, no, I meant like cannons and shit. I meant like, brother against brother. Maybe Jake could do, because Jake is fighting his brother.
Right.
That would actually make more sense.
That would have been much better
story
if Tom was there.
Hey, listen, there's a brother versus brother story in Animorphs. Let's do that one.
That would have been way better, actually. Like a Union and Rebel brother, whatever. Like, honestly, anything would have been better. But like,
yeah.
This sucks.
Give it.
Yep.
Thumbs down.
My last note that I wrote was I wrote the words Cardi B. And I was like, why did I write this? And then I realized because I thought about the Cardi B clip of her yelling, what was the reason? What was the reason?
What was the reason? I had a reason. What was the reason? What was the reason? I just explained the reason. What was the reason, bitch?
I don't know. This shit sucks.
Ty, what was the reason? Not like whether or not you like it, because we all know that we all hate this book. But like, what was the reason, Tyler?
The reason was to make, I mean, like you said, to make white people feel better about the bad things that they either intentionally or unintentionally have been a part of and built.
Good, because I feel better. It worked.
Yeah, you said a bad word. You said the worst word. You said an evil word.
I didn't say the worst word. I said a bad one. Because I was quoting it.
Oh my goodness.
It's so. But we need a part. We need to leave. We need to go.
We need to tell Lauren where people can find them. Lauren, where can the people find you? Do you want them to find you? Go buy her game.
You can find me on Twitter, I guess. My handle is Lauren Frage, LAURENFRAZ. And buy Zenith. It's great. It's fun.
We have it.
Don't say it because I haven't played it.
Well, you have it. You've paid for it. That's good enough.
That's what matters to me.
Lauren's got your money.
If you liked it, yeah.
I mean, I've watched people stream it, and it does look fucking dope.
It does. It does.
I mean, honestly, that tiger pirate character that, oh my God. So I know it's just a mob. I don't care. I've thought about it every fucking day since I've seen it, and I still want to get it as a tattoo.
Making video games is hard, and I'm glad you did
it. I'm glad too. I feel like the pirate thing would probably sound like a Hork-Bajir. Like in my mind, like that's what a Hork-Bajir would sound like.
Yeah.
I'm a Hork-Bajir. What? I don't know.
I just want to make Tyler uncomfortable one last time for this.
I've been uncomfortable the whole time. I'm a sweet boy who's got some problems.
I know how American civilization now leans upon the triumph of the government, and how great a debt we owe to those who went before us through the blood and suffering of the revolution. And I am willing, perfectly willing, to lay down all my joys in this life to help maintain this government and to pay that debt.